this Royal Rumble right now. I'm joking.
All right, let's do this thing. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Royal Rumble, San Antonio, Texas, Alamo Dome, January the 28th, which was yesterday. The Royal Rumble. A lot to say. Big crowd. What was about 50,000, I believe. Yeah, a lot of people going there. But as we welcome you to this Royal Rumble review, first off, let my co-hosts introduce themselves for today's review.
All right. Yep. My name Kyle. Man, 40 Cal. Back in the building. Back in the building. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
Yo, it's just J Rod back at it again. You already know how this shit go. Here to talk about the Royal Rumble, man. Let's get it. It was a decent one. We're gonna talk about it.
Yo, Black Shaggy, DAR Elite. I love that energy, Bryce. That was cool, bro. Nice intro. So let's get this popping.
All right, yeah, let's do this thing. We hyped up, so let's go smack dab in the middle of it right now. Well, first off, welcome back. Pat McAfee is now back on the commentary team again, finally. And everybody was excited. Apparently, Cole and them didn't know, so Cole and Graves were very surprised. Cole was happy to see Pat McAfee, so it was great to see him back on commentary because SmackDown has definitely not been the same without him.
I thought he was going to be in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't think he's going to be in the match, but
would have been dope.
That would have been cool too. But hey, he got to be on commentary the whole night. But the Men's Royal Rumble kicked it off first. Number 1, Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to say, the number 1 man in the Rumble, and number 2 being Sheamus going in the Rumble.
That's nice.
Yeah, that was a nice little touch. They had one of the best matches in 2022, so that was a nice little touch right there.
Good start out, especially how long both of these guys lasted in the Rumble. Because there's a lot of good parts in this whole thing, too, because this match went on for, like, what, over an hour and 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, or probably hour 20. Yeah. But long match overall. 3 was Miz. He came out there. 4 was Kofi Kingston. 15, Johnny Gargano. I'm saying 15. Number 5, Johnny Gargano coming out there then. I think Miz got eliminated first after this. Because Sheamus ended up doing his like 10 beats to the bow and then bro kicked Miz off. So Miz was gone. 6, Xavier Woods, which they kind of had the New Day kind of face off. And then they just start slapping each other's asses then. Yeah. I forgot these guys were the NXT Tag Champions.
Yeah. That's the thing right now.
Yeah, so they still are holding the belts. 7, Karrion Kross. There's some things to say about him right now. Because I'm almost surprised Ray actually went over on Friday. And then he didn't really last that long in the Rumble also. 8, Chad Gable. 9, Drew McIntyre, which he got a pretty big pop when he came out there. Mostly him and Sheamus was working together throughout most of this entire match. Because what's their tag name called? The Banger Bros?
Shut up.
I don't know if we're going to still be using that, but
Yeah, I think a lot of people know where that's from.
Yeah, Bryce. Please elaborate.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us, man? I heard you on the internet surfing a lot.
Hey, you know what? I haven't really been keeping up with SmackDown as often as I used to, but when they did that bro kick Claymore combo, that was hot, bro. I'm like, yo, if they a tag team, they need to keep doing that.
Yeah, because they ended up hitting Gunther with it out there like a double. That was good.
That's a scary
That was really good. But yeah, shame. But yeah, Steve, I know you probably searched the internet a lot. Yeah, what's up with that Banger Bros?
I mean, I've never paid for porn, so I mean, I don't know, bro.
Pays for porn. It's all free on the internet.
You want to talk to me about X videos or something, and all right, but I don't know about them.
Actually, you can watch all of those videos on X videos.
No facts, like
Banger Bros. 10, Santos Escobar. 11, Angelo Dawkins, which basically the New Day was gone because what? I know Walter ended up taking down Woods, and I think this is where they messed up the Kofi spot because Sheamus kicked him off the apron, and he was supposed to land in like the announce chair, but they kept trying to say, "Oh, 1 foot." He's still in there. Was 1 foot up and 1 foot on the ground, and Kofi really never came back after that. So they really messed up the Kofi Kingston save spot.
If they really wanted to, they could have just let that go, and he could have just came back in. Like nobody would have been like, "No, his foot's up." Like we would have just been like, "All right, fine, his foot's up, cool." But
Yeah, if it
I
was just
mean, they just didn't.
yeah, if it was
That's
just
what make the Royal Rumble match kind of unique because of these special type of rules that we, like you said, you could have went on with that because we all conditioned that it need both feet to hit the ground. So we were ready for Kofi to come back. I didn't see him in the match. Me and Bryce was just sitting here like, oh well, I guess he is eliminated.
Right.
You know,
now my thing is, I mean, they could have let that slide if it was just 1 foot. It was just 1 foot, right?
Yeah, they kept
that's what
saying
they
it.
were
Yeah,
saying.
they let Rhea Ripley slide in the women.
I
He
don't
was,
think it was 1 foot though. I just think they were saying it because by the time they realized like, oh shit, both his feet hit the ground. Well,
Mhm.
oh, goodbye, Kofi.
Yeah,
I
after a while, he was just gone because they kind of argued over it first, and then he was gone. So we never saw him again after that. So like, oh, that was elimination.
yeah, I forgot.
Right, it surprised me.
That's what
So I thought he was gonna get back in. 12, Brock Lesnar, huge pop, which he just started chucking people out of the ring. Then
was.
Santos gone, Gable gone, Dawkins gone, and he basically started no selling Walter when he kept which a lot of people started no selling Walter after a while in that match because he just chopping Brock and Brock just kind of like, what was that?
Mhm.
So Brock just starts killing people. Then Lashley comes out as 13 and takes out Brock, spears him, and then clotheslines him out of the ring. And boom, yeah, he's gone. Then after that, because Lashley just starts spearing everybody. So obviously, it's going to be a WrestleMania match between both of them.
Mhm.
And
So
hopefully he just beats him finally, and that'd be that.
Yes.
Yep.
yes, finally get
It's
the
a,
match that people been waiting to see.
I was telling my brother when they were first teasing it. I think was it like earlier this month when they were first teasing Brock and Bobby, and I told him then I'm like, well, this is a rubber match at WrestleMania, so they better go ahead and just give it to Lashley. You don't need nothing. You don't need to give Brock anything else, but anything. You don't need to give him anything else. You gave him the world basically.
He
You
gave him
know,
Rumble last year.
right? So he don't need nothing, man. Brock is a
He's
boss level character, so it's
he's
like you
Tef-
don't really need nothing. Nothing.
he's basically Teflon. So
Mm.
it's Brock, and made sense that
Plus, the only reason he beat him last year is because of Roman. So he need to just beat him straight up, like
Mhm.
clean.
pack him up, get him out of here.
You got to like beat him clean. So you got the payback on him by eliminating him real fast. Then after that,
But
because right after Lashley took him out, because they said what Lesnar lasted like 3 minutes, and then Lesnar just starts breaking things, and then Corbin comes out as number 14, and then Brock just kills him and gives him an F5 on the outside and just leaves him there, and then they got to get rid of Brock then and send him to the back. Um,
hey,
15.
before we go on, I will say this: do you guys think that Brock can will lose 2 WrestleManias in a row if they actually do put them in a match together?
I
Yeah,
don't think Brock cares. I don't really think he cares.
I don't think he
That would
cares.
be the next question.
We've seen
I
Brock
think,
losing Mania a lot of times.
True, but
and
back
I
to
don't think. Right, at this point, like man, we ain't gonna look at Brock as those. Oh man, this big fat loser. How dare he lose 2 WrestleManias in a row? We ain't gonna look at him like that.
I would. I just want to ask consensus. Like, do you think because Vince is back in, he could very well be like, Brock, you're gonna win this one, and it's just like, damn.
I
Definitely
mean, if
could
that's
happen.
what happens, that's what happens. I just don't think like Brock himself like gives a damn. Like I feel like he's just like just pay me and whatever I'll do the job. Like
Because they know
Right.
they need him, and he's still a big star, and people are gonna watch because it's Brock. That's kind of it. It's Brock, and then again, people do like the Cowboy B Brock out there.
Oh yeah, this Brock is my favorite.
Yeah, this is our favorite iteration of Brock.
I ain't about to sleep on that reference, Bryce. That was very clean.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks. I've been saying that for a while. Cowboy B Brock.
That's crazy.
I've been calling him that for a minute now. So this version of Brock is very entertaining. But right after that, 15, singing Seth Rollins comes out, talking about Punk a lot.
Well, that's because they asked him. I mean, I don't even know why you would ask him that.
And it's so crazy though. Going to that interview, it's like I don't think dude was getting ready for that answer. I don't think dude was getting ready for it. You can tell by his face, he took him off guard, like, oh, for real?
Man,
Man,
you got to answer this question. Okay.
I ain't know that's how you feel. I thought you were one of the other guys.
I said to Bryce, I think he was trolling with that answer because he pretty much said exactly what Jericho said. I feel like he knows what he was saying when he said it, you know? Because this was the same, like I said to Bryce, it's the same dude who was begging for a match with Punk when he came back on backstage, bro. Like I don't feel like he actually feels like
from
that.
a few years ago. So when he was on the backstage show.
And then the crazy part about it is like he sounded like he was doing that stuff in his character voice. Like it didn't sound like Seth Rollins. You know what I'm saying? It sounded like Seth freaking Rollins. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga sounded like he was in character when he was doing that. And I'm like, it kind of made me think like, is it? It
But he
sounds
got
like
calling him Phil though. He got calling him Phil, like Phil's a jerk. I don't like Phil.
Right. Yeah. I feel like he's angling, but you know, that's just me, you know.
So that possibly yeah, it probably was that. If it was what a gimmick or not, but he got calling him Phil. I'm like, okay. I'm not sure if it was legit or not. But other than Seth coming out, who else did they throw out of there? I know they got rid of Cross, which wow, how long was he in there for?
Long enough.
Gone. He was gone. Like that was fast. 16, Otis. I know he did the caterpillar and nobody didn't even pop for it. 17 was supposed to be Rey Mysterio, but we never got Rey Mysterio then. So Rey didn't come out. Lashley ended up getting eliminated by Seth, which honestly I thought Lashley was going to be there a little bit longer, but I was kind of surprised he was gone that fast. That was kind of like people, even though I know he wasn't going to win, I kind of thought he was going to make it towards the end.
Yeah, so when I give up my summing up this match at the end, yeah, I'll get more than how I felt about that, but yeah.
18, Gerard's favorite wrestler, Dominic Mysterio.
Fuck that nigga.
Coming out with Ray's mask and tearing it up, and then he's just running around the ring, not even getting in there yet. And you see Cole getting pissed off, like, get that kid in the ring so he can kick his ass. And he ends up getting in the ring and just starts kind of hiding in the corner then, and Sheamus starts messing with him and stuff. He keeps trying to hit Sheamus, and then he just no-sells it. 19, Elias, which he came out there flatter than ever, just no reaction. Hits Walter with the guitar, not even Jeff Jarrett style. And that's when Sheamus and McIntyre did that double finish, the Claymore bro kick at the same time. And he was gone. So, like, what, minute and a half, Elias? Gone.
That's about right.
Yep. 20, Finn Balor coming out there then. I know him and Dominic end up getting rid of Gargano. I'm surprised Gargano was in this match this long. I thought he would have been gone a while ago, because I will say, like, throughout a lot of this Rumble, this was the land of the Giants again. I felt it was like the land of the Giants when it was
felt like it.
Because there was a lot of big guys in there. And me and Kyle was watching. It's like, man, they got all these Giants in here, and Gargano's still surviving in this somehow.
That's his thing, bro.
Because I'm like, man, they didn't kill him yet. I'm like, I was surprised he was there.
Because most of the time, you really saw Johnny. Johnny was on the ground in the corner most of the time. He'd come out where he'd stay right there for a long period of time, to the point that we would be like, where is he? And he's somewhere under the corner somewhere.
That's how it always is in the Rumble. Like this, Rhea Ripley was doing the same thing. It's like they got to take a nap, get their cardio in. I guess I don't know, but yeah.
Wait in the
No, I'm
corner,
talking
wait
about
for
like
somebody.
I know no, I know about that part. Don't get me wrong. I already know about that part, but I just felt like it was like he would like just say he would low manage it too much. That's how I
Yeah,
was
he
looking at
pulled
it. Like he was really staying on it's like really resting for a very, very long time. To the point that I'm like, man, what move did he do that he had to rest so long? Like what did he really do?
Other
I
than
guess
when he
they
came
just
out
didn't
at
have a
the
spot
beginning.
for him at that point. I don't know because
Yeah, probably
everybody,
so. Probably.
people come in and they got to do their specific spot with their specific person or whatever. And I guess he just wasn't involved. I mean, then why keep him in there? I guess if that's the case, I don't know.
Yeah, I was surprised he was still there. 21, Booker T, Big Pop. Some would say the new voice of NXT. Um, which Booker, he came in, he hit his moves, the booking, hit a thrust kick, did the spinneroonie, and then Walter threw him out of there and got a lot of boos then. But hey, Booker T still looks in incredible shape.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
That was very cool.
cool to see Booker T in general in the Rumble. 22, Damian Priest, basically all the Judgment Day was out there then. I gotta give it to Priest. Priest been like the Iron Man out of this group. Because the stuff I've seen the past few weeks, especially like a lot of tag matches, he be going for damn near an hour.
Damn.
Yeah, his cardio is amazing.
Because he's definitely been like the Iron Man out of that whole group with Priest out there. 23, Montez Ford, which wow, he wasn't really in there that long. What Priest ended up throwing him out of there, which he did land on his feet, but
Which was crazy.
yeah, that was pretty crazy. I thought Ford was gonna be in there for a minute, but I'm like, nah, because even in my 2023 video, I said like this guy's gonna be the break. I still think he's gonna be the breakout star, maybe soon enough, maybe this year.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that, man. Because have we seen like when Vince was in charge, it was very apparent that he viewed Montez Ford as the guy in the Street Profits. So he was the one that was getting the singles matches with Seth Rollins and all that. He was the guy who was getting the spotlight. But I don't feel like since Triple H has taken over that he's gotten that kind of
Right. I
rub
felt the same
anymore.
way. I felt
True.
the same way. I don't think Triple H sees Montez as Vince sees Montez. And that's
Mm.
with a lot of people in that company right now. And it looked like because with Montez, it's like I see what people looking at. They looking at the size, the charisma, the move sets. And I'm like, okay, yes, I do understand what y'all going with. You know what I'm saying? But what we gonna do with this Donkey character? It ain't like Donkey is the one it's like some shabby, you know, some guy who just we could just look over. I really think Donkey's good too.
Right.
I mean, to make the departure, if the departure goes well enough, then it will make both people look great. Think Triple H, Shawn Michaels. You know,
That's the only one so far.
Mm.
Because you think about Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. You know what I'm saying? Like we could go as far as that. That was the very first one. We could go Booker T and CB Ray.
Matt and Jeff.
Bad at you.
Well, to a
You know what
lesser
I'm saying?
extent though, Matt had some success, just like
Okay,
Edge and
Matt.
He had
Christian.
some
Like,
success. No, I ain't saying he ain't had no success. What you talk about compared to Jeff's success. That's what we were talking about. Like kind of, compared the the two tag team partners after they split, who had the most success. And you would be happy to have Matt's success if you do split from a tag team. If I was Dawkins, I'd be happy enough to have Matt's success. You
yeah.
know,
I'm
Matt,
hoping that's what it is though. Like, I hope it's a case that Triple H doesn't want to split them up, rather than he doesn't see Montez as that guy. You feel me? Like, he sees more value in the Street Profits rather than I don't see value in them as singles. Like,
yeah,
and that's why he's not
Yes.
breaking them up, which is cool if that's what it is. But I just hope it's not the latter where he's like, well, I don't see what Vince saw in this dude. Like, and
right,
I
Nah,
hope
right.
that's
look
not
at
the
They
it.
had
case.
they
Yeah.
had
Look at this
Montez
in
face
person.
Roman out there on SmackDown one time.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, under
one.
Vince.
Man, one thing.
And if it is the first thing, how long is that gonna last? We all know how long is a star gonna like sit? You know what I mean? Before they break out.
Right, they can't be together forever. Like that's
I
just the
would,
way it is.
but
So
you
Trips.
know, I don't think Triple H have a hard on for breaking up tag team as much as his father-in-law. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, yeah, his father-in-law really don't like tag team. It shows on paper, and so it's like I don't think he had the same, feeling towards tag team.
That's true. I do see that. So you got a point there. But I like I said before, like I do see Montez as a single star, but like right now, like it's kind of changed to what it was before. Like now it's just kind of just with mostly him and Dawkins. It's still a tag team, no problem, but we kind of saw before. We saw him like a lot of singles matches and thought it was kind of going somewhere, but now it's kind of like maybe not. So we'll see. But I was kind of surprised he was out of the Rumble pretty fast. 24, the return of Edge. Edge, Big Pop, basically going right after the Judgment Day. Taking out Balor, Priest hitting him with the spear. Dominic tried to get a 619 on him, but Edge ended up spearing him then. So then he had like a stare down with Seth because they had a feud before. And basically Priest and Balor ended up throwing Edge out of the ring and, kind of pulling him out of there after
Can I
that.
can I say something about his return for the 49,000 time?
Go ahead.
It would have been better off for him to just announce it on Raw and put fear in the Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I'm coming after y'all at the Royal Rumble. Because here's the thing, because you made two surprises already at Royal Rumble. And it kind of like the law of diminishing returns after a while. Like, okay, yes, we happy to see you, Edge, but it wasn't one of those returns like, oh my gosh, Edge back. Like, okay, Edge back. He going against the Judgment Day. We already knew that after a while, after when we see it on at SummerSlam.
You know
And
what? I'm going to co-sign that and say that, yeah, they should have done that and done the inverse with Cody. Like, Cody should have been the surprise, and Edge should have been the one that was doing the vignette saying, I'm coming back and I'm coming at the Royal Rumble to get your ass, like,
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
paid back on Judgment Day. But like,
I
right,
totally
so
agree
they
with
just
that.
kept this as a surprise, and then Edge was in there for like what, 3 minutes?
Yeah, I was.
But he was more storyline with Edge, though. You
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
more
figured that
storyline
was
because he's going after Judgment Day and getting payback on them.
which would
So like
all
that,
which would low key be all the more reason to have
oh,
a promo before Royal Rumble saying I'm gonna
he
be
goes.
kick y'all ass. Yeah, I was so hurt. I was so
I'm
hurt.
not thinking about the Royal
Cody.
Rumble. Obviously, he wasn't really thinking about winning the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm
he
saying?
just
At all.
he
Like
just wanted payback on Judgment Day.
I'm just there because I know y'all niggas gonna be in the ring together, and I can't
Mhm.
fight.
So yeah,
exactly.
he just going after them, and then like even when Austin Theory comes out at 25, Edge is still beating up Balor and Priest, then going up the entrance, and then Ripley end up pushing him to the ground, and then Beth Phoenix, she's back now, and then ends up taking out Ripley, then spearing her until they get Edge and Beth Phoenix out of it. Then after they start beating up the Judgment Day, so Beth was
Yeah,
back.
that little bit right there made me think that maybe Rhea wasn't going to win the Royal Rumble because
Yeah,
I
that was
thought,
what I
okay,
was
well, we're
saying.
I
going to
That
thought
do
break.
Beth was gonna be in the
Rhea and
Rumble.
Beth. But
Remember what I was saying that break? I was
Yep.
talking to you last night. I was like, I think this might be the reason why Rhea don't win the Royal Rumble. I said the exact same thing that last night.
Because Beth Phoenix
so I
coming.
guess we're going to get that out the way at Elimination Chamber. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna do it there then. But yeah, I actually thought Beth was gonna be in the Rumble later on also. But right after that, 26 was Omos. Omos just throwing anyone, just hitting anybody, even no selling Walter out there, which like I said, there was a lot of people no selling him out there. So yeah, Omos is like just kind of laughing and just pushing him back. Then 27 Strowman, and then they got Strowman and Omos going at it until Strowman knocks him out and says, get your big ass out of here. So, yeah, Omos wasn't really there that long, and Strowman eliminated him. 28, Ricochet, which now they got Strowman and Ricochet as a tag team. which that was kind of out of nowhere on SmackDown. It's like, okay, y'all in the semifinals now. We gonna make them to a tag team.
Ain't doing nothing else.
That's true. Yeah, they're not doing nothing else, so let's make them into a tag team and have them work together, which they literally had Sheamus and McIntyre literally work together throughout the whole match and end up saving each other throughout the whole thing so they didn't get eliminated. So they did that. But who was there after that? Because McIntyre and Sheamus, they did try to eliminate Strowman, but it ended up with Walter eliminating both of them then at the same time. So Sheamus and McIntyre were gone. So Sheamus was in there for like 50-something minutes because he was number 2, so he was gone after that. 29, Logan Paul. I guess Morrison was right about that hurt knee. Yeah. It wasn't didn't this guy just scam a lot of people or something recently for some coffee thing?
Yeah,
Did
like something.
Yeah, he just scammed, stole a whole bunch of money, and the only thing I remember is he tried to double down on it. Yeah, cryptocurrency, and then now he's apologizing now because he screwed a lot of people out of money.
Like that nigga need any more money, bro. What the heck?
Yeah, so he scammed a lot of people recently, and I'm like, oh, he's in the Rumble because I'm like, he tore an ACL, like he just had a sore knee mostly. I say Morrison was right. Because I saw that interview Morrison did, and he just went in on Logan Paul about his matches and stuff. Man, did he need the spot? Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say what is Morrison saying? Anyway, see.
Oh, about his matches being rehearsed, and that the only reason why he's in this good a position and why his matches have been so well is because he's working with Shawn Michaels. Which you're working with Shawn, so of course you're gonna be great out there.
And then I told Bryce when he was telling me that it's like somebody said, man, only reason why that guy's a good basketball player because that nigga was working with Michael Jordan. And I can't believe that.
It's like, yeah, I mean, if you work with greatness, that's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because I remember I saw the interview with Morrison. Like, well, I've torn my ACL, I've done this, I've had real injuries, and I've had over 4,000 matches. This guy's only had 3, and he said like everybody thinks he's God's gift to wrestling now or something.
Well, yeah. Well, I
don't even see that though. I don't even see that. Do y'all see that?
No,
I don't really see it. I can see the rehearse part. Maybe wrestlers might not like when other wrestlers rehearse everything. Sure. But overall, still great fucking matches. I can't downplay how good.
That's what I
can't. Yeah, his matches were good. I'm not gonna shit on his matches. I'm like, he was really good out there, so I'm not really gonna say nothing bad about that. Like now, outside and everything else Logan Paul does, that's a different story. But
inside the ring, he hasn't done anything outside the ring egregious enough for me to be like, fuck him inside the ring.
Yeah. It's not really right. Right, the man ain't murdered nobody. The man ain't raped nobody. You know what I'm saying? The man ain't did none of that. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I know people look at him as a prick or
the bar is pretty low for wrestlers, honestly.
He may be a scammer, but also Vincent Kennedy McMahon. So
Logan Paul may be a prick and an asshole to people, but I'm not going to deny he's not good in the ring and stuff.
In that locker room? How many is in that locker room that just like him? Okay, it ain't like he the only prick and asshole that's in the locker room. It's a lot of them.
So it's just we just know a little bit more because
about him, right?
Because of YouTube, and he's famous for other stuff than just being in WWE. So people know enough about him outside between him and his brother.
It's like I completely agree with y'all. He not really. He didn't get to my point. He didn't get to the point where I'm like, man, nah, I don't mess with that man at all. Don't even put that man on my TV screen. He ain't got there yet. Until he get there, then I'm gonna be like, he okay about Book right now.
Yeah, literally, I watch anything outside of him wrestling, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's just they got to make him into a heel because the face thing is not working. People legitimately hate this guy, which is literally had him kind of working more as a heel out there this time because before he's just mostly been a face, and every time they brought him out, people come on, they cheered the Bloodline over him when that whole feud was going. Like everybody was on the Bloodline side.
Yo, but I mean, beginning of that Roman Reigns match, everybody was cheering the Bloodline too, but we'll get that.
Yeah, we'll get to that part. But Logan Paul, him and Ricochet did that. You know, jumping off the ropes, crashing into each other, which
That was great. I like
it
that.
was great. It was kind of ridiculous, but great at the same time. Like that was cool, but it's like
That was a good
definitely
photo.
It looked like
a good
something
That
photo.
was,
WWE would did if they
that
were
was
ever.
a good photo.
It was definitely a good photo after that. Didn't he hit like a buckshot lariat? I see people say he does a better buckshot lariat than Hangman Page.
Damn.
But
I
see,
see
that's
that.
what
Um,
that's what Morrison's talking about, though. You feel me? Like
yeah, there we go.
people
Bingo.
acting like
Okay, see,
he's God's
I
gift,
think
bro.
right. You just tell the man that he did a better special move than the person who special move it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, man. Y'all doing too much.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, because
Doing
I've
too
heard
much.
that for a while. I've seen people say like, yeah, he does a better buckshot than Hangman. I'm like, really? It looked
Really?
good. Don't get me wrong.
That's why when you first told me about what Morrison said, I was like, I mean, he sound kind of like a hater, but at the same time, I mean, I've
Once you
seen
hear something
people
like this,
reacting to Logan Paul. So I know what he's talking about because I've seen all the podcasts talking about, oh my God, Logan Paul. That like, all right, bro, like he's good. Yeah, so what? You know, like,
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
there's very few things that are 100% wrong. So like everything got a little bit of truth in it, you
truth
know.
is but and then once Brace came around with what everybody was saying, that's exactly what Morrison talking about. It's like, come on now, time out. We were just saying, hold on, we haven't seen it until we heard it. Like, hold on, yeah, we got to change our mind on that one because hold on, yeah, that is true. Why are we just throwing all these fake praises on the man? You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing. He does his matches are great, but I ain't saying his buckshot. So I will say his frog splash is leaps and bounds better than fucking Dominic Mysterio. But I think everything is better than Dominic Mysterio. I'm sorry, I have a weird beef with Dominic Mysterio. Yeah.
Gangsta Dominic. I'm almost surprised he was in the Rumble this
I
long.
just I don't even hate Dominic. I just hate the gimmicks that they put him in. Why is he a gangster? Why are they talking about him in prison? I hate this.
For him, and like, yeah, he said, "Oh yeah, you Uso. That means essay." And what I'm like, the Usos actually went to jail.
Literally, right? Like that nigga.
I
He
think
said,
that was the joke, though, right?
he was like,
I
I
think
was
that's
I was
weird.
lifting weight. He's like, I was
And
lifting
that's why
weights
I
in
really
Japan.
like it. That's why, and that's why I kind of like. I'm the opposite because I really just laughing at the stuff because I know how it made for laughs.
Right.
We
It's
supposed to be
supposed to be a
laughing at the
joke,
devil.
right?
Yeah,
We
because
supposed
I
to be
kept calling him.
laughing at the people.
I called him wannabe Conan, and he's just like, I was lifting weights to get back to my mommy. And when he says that, I get it's supposed to be like annoying, but like it does sound weird because me and Gerard talked about this. It's like when he says that, he sounds weird. It's not like Eddie saying, like what Eddie said is like, he said it with some swag and some charisma
That was
and
my
what.
introduction to Eddie Guerrero. I wasn't watching WCW as a kid. My first introduction was when he came to WWE, and especially when he had that shit with China. And I thought that was the coolest shit in the world. And I think Dominic doing it sounds nothing like that. It sounds like
No, but I think
Isn't
it's a
that the
different.
point,
I
though?
think it's
Like,
different. I think it's different though. Real talk. It's more with Dominic. It's more dominatrix than how Eddie was. Eddie was like more romantic. It was more, with like more. It was more a romantic feel to it. Then
but
Dominic, it's more.
it,
It seemed more like on some dominant. Rhea is the dominant person, and he's the submissive person. You get what I'm
thing,
saying?
but
He's the
you could
submissive.
and I ain't gonna go too long on this because we got the whole thing to go through. But that's the thing. Even with China and Eddie, it was like that. China was the dominant one. Eddie wasn't the dominant one in that whole situation. My whole thing is WWE loves to fucking recycle gimmicks. If you have the godson of fucking Eddie Guerrero, if you have the son of Rey Mysterio, that's the perfect time to recreate that, especially with somebody like Rhea Ripley. But instead, y'all using this like weird mommy dynamic where it's weird to me. And like I get it's for laughs, but also it's just like you can make Dominic way cooler than he is, especially in this group. But you
no,
guys are
you can't.
like opposed.
I don't know about that part. You can't make
And like the thing is, you're making him look like a poser when we already know he kind of is. So it's like you're not making him better.
I,
You're only
but
making
I
him.
don't think a
You're
lot
only
of
making
people look at him as pose
him better. Like you can
as
make
a
him.
poser. My bad. Go ahead.
They
I
just
was
look.
I was just gonna say you can make him more serious. That's all.
Yeah,
I,
because like,
yeah,
right
what I
now,
was about to say. What I like, I don't think a lot of people looking at him as a poser. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, he don't belong. Yeah, because we got to. I think a lot of people got to the point that he's here. And everybody got to the point like I think he belong here.
because before I've said about Dominic, I
So
think he should just went to NXT first before going to the main roster. But he's
that
got Ray with him, so they're gonna put him with his dad in to begin with and
I
whatnot.
mean, I mean that too. And it's not that I don't think he belongs. I just don't think he belongs in the position that he's in right now. Like I don't know. I
Well,
feel
that's
like
that's
it's a
that's why they
lot of
got him in
growth
a group.
he needs to do. And I think like the dynamic of making him a laughing stock when he's still so young is taken away like growing time that he can use like in NXT and shit like that. Like I don't think I don't know. He doesn't fit to me with Judgment Day.
I mean, me personally, I'm not even going to tell you how you should feel, bro. I mean, that's fine. I just think that he can't be seen as anything else because when they tried to actually make him a serious competitor on the roster, it never felt that way. Like even when they were trying to make him that, I mean, he's going in there and he's having matches with Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy and AJ Styles. It never felt like he should be even in the ring with those dudes. So they found something for him to do that fits more to what he is. And I mean, if you can get laughs out of it, then I feel like that's a better you like to a lesser extent, like what they did with Jason Jordan when they made him Kurt Angle's son, and he was this whiny little, well, I'm going to tell my dad and all that. Like,
Exactly. But here's the thing. How's his career going?
who, Dominic?
No, Jason Jordan's.
Well, I mean,
He
he had his
he,
career
he
ended
got
though.
Well, yeah,
Like,
his
Well,
neck
yeah.
was his neck. He couldn't go no more.
he, he can't
but
go
that's
no
why I
more.
said to a lesser extent though, because I feel like you didn't have to do that with Jason Jordan, but with Dominic, I feel like they found this because this is actually what he's good at doing. Instead of trying to be Rey Mysterio 2, he's
Yeah,
doing this
he got
little
so good at
little
being a
shit
prick.
thing, you know.
Yeah, he got a good at being a prick.
Exactly.
For real.
Yeah.
He
It,
Right.
was
it's
a
ge-
prick.
it's getting better because like it's like you just said, like it wasn't really getting better, like you said, with them trying to make him Ray too, because he never came close to being Ray. Like Ray
You know
looked
what?
bigger than him.
Who he kind of reminded me of? He kind of reminded me of the suburban kid who goes to the hood thinking he gonna be hood, and you be like, nah,
Malibu's most
boy, you
wanted,
went,
bro.
That was
bro,
most funny.
you were rich, boy, you rich. Get out my face, man. You live in a mansion. You grew up in a gated community. Get out my face, B. That's the character he is, and that's what he portrayed.
And they even know that because Judgment Day always has to bail him out, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's why they kind of got him in a group because it's like, okay, let's put him with people that are over, so he'll get heat with them. Because if they had him by himself, this guy would have been drowned in the water. Then if they put him by himself.
and they're
That's
playing it perfectly because
like
you cannot wait for Rey Mysterio to get his hands on this dude,
All
bro.
Yeah,
his
and most
fear,
likely be at
all his
WrestleMania.
son. He was like, man, please get your hands on your son, man.
Put
They
hands on this
had him go
boy.
up to Ray's house and jump him in Thanksgiving and
Tried
Christmas.
it again at Christmas. He like, man, you tried it again. You tried it at Thanksgiving. Man, I was like that.
But I think it was
no,
funny. His
that
grandfather just went up and hugged him then like it was nothing. Like, he did beat
Because
up
he
his
did
son.
right. That's Grandpa. He thinking of he looking at Dominic like that. He's looking at Dominic. Like, oh, that's my grandson. How you doing, grandson? You can't
He
even
not watching
visit
the
me on
show.
Christmas.
bro, right.
He said he's not watching the show. He said, have you see him?
No, but no,
So
I
that,
held where I'm coming from. Though. I respect it. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like NXT, like he would. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he could have bangers somewhere else as of right now. Because again, I don't want him to be a laughing stock his whole career. Hopefully, there is a change in his career at some
because
point.
I don't want to say he's like, because I'm already hearing like he's probably one of the worst second generation wrestlers next to like a David Flair or an Eric Watts or a David Sammartino. Like I've heard, there's been like second generation wrestlers that have failed miserably.
And that's the
Hey,
thing.
boy,
He
here's the
comes with
thing.
And that's the thing we came up with, Dominic. Like the I'm Your Poppy shit was one of my favorite segments. I'm waiting for the full circle. When he first came here, I was actually not one of the ones that was like, oh man, this nigga ain't like I was like rooting for him, but it just got to a point where I'm like, they not doing shit with him. And they pushing him in moments where they giving him like to me a Roman Reigns type of push where at first where it was like, damn, you need to work on some things, but instead you're getting title matches. Okay. And I just don't think that he's at that, like at least Roman had that moment where he actually had to work his way back up, where Dominic is still getting pushed up when he needs to work on some things. So even when the match comes in WrestleMania, what are we really rooting for? Are we rooting for Dominic that's getting better, or are we rooting for Ray to just kick his ass and a quick little dinger and there we have yeah, fuck it. We all know barn burner, and that's what I want. I want Dominic to work his way up so that if he ever does have an angle like this where it's father versus son, although it's happening now, it would have been a barn burner by the time it would have happened. But now it's just going to be a fucking 5 minute Rey Mysterio ass whooping, and that's cool too. I just think a full circle moment is going to be missed because we're pushing him too soon.
True,
I
definitely
will
true.
agree with you though, bro. Like everything I've said is based on what they've done. If they went about this the right way in the very first place and took him to NXT from jump, then we would have been having a different story. But because they didn't, that's why I feel the way I feel about it. But you're absolutely right. They should have from jump put him in NXT. Him and Ray had the perfect story with Legado del Fantasma to just do that, but they just never did. And well, here we are. You know.
They went with that then, so there you go. But you got one other thing. Are you ready to move on? Like,
sorry, yeah, I didn't.
Number 30 was Cody Rhodes.
Holy, we still on the Rumble. Oh my gosh.
Hey, we're at the end. We're at the end. We're literally at the end now since we're at number 30. So Cody Rhodes, number 30, which obviously we all knew that was gonna happen. Cody just coming out there hitting the Cody cutter. Dom tried to hit him with the three amigos, but Cody crossroads. Dominic's out of there then. Because there's only maybe at least maybe 5-6 people left after that. Because right after Cody ended up eliminating Strowman then. And ended up taking out Ricochet. No, Theory took out Ricochet. So we got to the final four, which was Cody, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and Walter. So they were the last ones in there. I know they had Cody and Rollins once again back to this feud, having them stare off. And then they start beating up Walter, hitting like 2 pedigrees on him. So they start doing that. And at this point, Walter, they said he's now the longest person in the Rumble, over 70 minutes. So that's a new record since he's there since number 1. But everybody's damn near hitting a finisher on him. Logan Paul ended up taking out Seth then. So that was a surprise to everybody. And then Logan's pointing at the whole WrestleMania sign. Cody got him with the crossroads, throws out Logan Paul. And now we got to Cody and Walter was the last 2 people in this match, which in a way, I don't want to say it was a finisher fest, but Cody just hitting everything. The disaster kick, hitting the shattered dreams, gold dust smooth, everything out there. Because they had like another 10 minutes out there, if I'm not mistaken, trying to get each other out of the ring until, Cody hit that last crossroads. And then Walter was gone, and Cody Rhodes run the Royal Rumble, going to WrestleMania, which we all kind of knew that. We all called this back in the end of the year review, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, my to sum up my thoughts about the Rumble, the men's Rumble, I really loved it, but a couple things made me not love it as much. And Cody being number 30, I feel like is one of those things for a couple of reasons. One, just like you said, we already knew he was going to be in it and probably was going to win it, right? So for him to be number 30, it's like we already knew this, bro. Like there's the number 30 should be a guy like imagine if Logan Paul was number 30, right? And everybody's just like, oh no, Logan Paul, are you serious, bro? And everybody hates it, and then he gets dumped out, and they're like, oh yeah. But when it's Cody and he's going up against a guy in Gunther who's been in there at number 1, and he's struggling to get this dude over the rope when he just got in the Rumble, it's like I feel like Cody should have came in at like number 5 or something. Because you still want Gunther to get that Iron Man, all the way to the end. So Cody could have came in like 4 or 5. and survive, because that's Cody's thing anyway. He's the guy who never gives. I mean, not John Cena, but he's the guy who doesn't give up. You know, you beat him down, but he just keeps fighting. And for him to be like the fresh guy going up against a beaten up Gunther and is struggling to get him over the rope for 10 minutes is like,
Yeah,
like
Yeah, I think. Oh,
I'm
And
glad you pointed that out too, because I was thinking the exact same thing. Like you could have had him at least come in at 15.
that's what.
At least 15.
facts.
And that'll be a nice halfway through the rumble. You know what I'm saying? You still fighting, clawing. You gonna be down and out by the time all the little fresh competitors come in. And when you do it like that, it's kind of like a cheat code a little bit. It's like, oh, I come in like last, everybody else is tired, been in the match for like 70 minutes, hours. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, you struggling to beat up a guy who getting beat up for an hour.
for a whole hour just
And
bleeding and everything.
and,
Everything.
and just
And,
like
and, and
I'm sorry.
oh my bad, I was say, but and with Cody, like the way they've promoted it with him for the past few weeks, just all these videos, like literally just making him damn near Captain America
They
out there.
told you he was going to win.
Yeah, they told you, like they literally told you like he was coming back at the Rumble and he was going to win. And like after a while, when I was watching, like he's gonna be number 30. Like he's gonna be number 30. Like I just kind of already knew it, and he's gonna win. So they had been promoting Cody for like several weeks now. Because even I thought they would have saved it as a surprise for him to come back at the Rumble, but it was like, no, he's coming back at the Rumble.
You know what I think happened? And I might be wrong, but knowing how this shit happens like backstage, how like events happen like this backstage, they probably made the promo fucking flyers for the Royal Rumble like around the time Cody came, right? And they had them bitches. They usually had them hoes sitting. And once it's time to release them hoes, they come out. I think whoever the fuck edited them didn't edit Cody out when he went injured. So the surprise was gonna like all the surprise that we were gonna have is gone because people are gonna look at the flyer and be like, damn, wait, Cody's in the fucking flyer. That means he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble. And they just had to fucking go from there, like, oh fuck, well, Cody got to announce he's in the Royal Rumble. Fuck, Cody, we gotta make promos for Cody. Like, cause I don't see why they wouldn't use Cody as like a surprise, and that's the only thing I could think is that they may have made these flyers early and didn't edit them before they made the release, because like they should not have had fucking flyer first and foremost, like, and he should have been a surprise.
Yeah, just like I'm pretty sure Kyle said it right. Well, earlier we said Edge should have been the one that declared himself, and then Cody was a surprise. Like that. That's the perfect scenario, bro.
I think what they wanted to do was to have a Triple H 2002 moment. That's what I think that's what they wanted to do. They, Triple H went down with that quad injury, came back in 2002, won the Royal Rumble, and so I think that's what they wanted to do with Cody. Like, okay, we gonna start showing the vignettes about him, like they were doing with Triple H, getting
Yep.
y'all ready for him, and everybody getting excited for it. But here's the thing, though, I I don't think that's how we felt at that time. I mean, with Cody. I ain't feel the same way with Cody what I felt with Triple H when I was younger. Actually like, oh man, he about to go in and do this and do that. Like I was ready for Triple H. You could have kept Cody you could have kept Cody as a secret. Real talk. You could have kept him as a secret, not even mention him for a whole 9 months. Don't say nothing about him. Nothing.
Yep. Just let him
Until
pop
you
in and
heard that
surprise everybody.
wrestling only have wrestling has more than one royal family. And we would have went crazy. It's like, oh dang, okay. Is he
Just
gonna
like
win?
John Cena in 2008.
Yep.
Bingo.
Didn't say nothing. Came in at
Didn't say
30 and
nothing.
won.
It was great.
It was great. The reaction was funny as hell too. They popped for a minute there. They realized, hold on, man, this John Cena. We don't like this man.
Ooh.
Boo!
Like, oh.
But
So like
that was
with
also a
Cody,
surprise comeback because like nigga, like he was out for the same shit. Nigga thought he was gonna be out for months, and that nigga was back in like a month and a half. And it was like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
he's back
Super
again.
Cena, bro.
So like they kept it secret, like definitely Super Cena, but they kept it secret out there. So, looking at like Steven said, look at the whole Rumble. I thought it was a really good Rumble. Like it beats last year and everything. Obviously, you could just watch the first 5 minutes of this thing and it already beats last year's Rumble. But the number 30 spot, hey, 2 years in a row, somebody in number 30 wins the Rumble. And I will say this because a lot of people thought, I know some people they thought it was going to be in the Rumble that wasn't. I know a lot of people expected Sami Zayn to be in the Rumble. People thought like Big E was going to be in it or Randy Orton, which I didn't see any of those two coming back. People thought Switchblade Jay White was going to be in the Rumble.
If he's not going to win, don't put him in the Rumble, bro.
True.
Because people was expecting surprises a lot.
You do
Those were surprises.
Yeah, but it was like one of those. Remember how, like, you know how we feel with Murder Rumble don't have surprises. Kind of how we felt last year, you know, in 2022.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel this way with 2023. And then with the lack of surprises, I really like this Royal Rumble match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same way, man. Over here, because I did see a lot of people complaining that there weren't a lot. They were like, yeah, this was a mid Rumble because there weren't any surprises or anything. But what I liked about this Rumble that made me like it more than the women's Rumble is it was stacked with people who maybe necessarily weren't your first thought that they would win, but it was stacked with people that if they did win, it wouldn't feel completely out of left field. Like you had Gunther and Sheamus and Drew and Lashley and Seth in there. Lesnar was in there. I'm like, yeah, there wasn't any surprises, but we got legit like winners in here. Like if they won, you'd be like, yeah. So I prefer that honestly than the surprises.
I was almost to the point that I thought what's the name going to win last night. Real talk, I really thought they were going to swerve the hell out of it. I'm like, oh man, Gunther. Once he did that shotgun drop kick and the power bomb, I'm like, oh okay.
I'm saying, bro.
I almost thought he was gonna win.
Maybe I had crackhead pipe dreams. The surprises that I had weren't gonna be like old school wrestlers. The only two surprises that I had, well, one of them happened, but it wasn't really a fucking surprise. It was Cody, and then the other one was, of course, The Rock. And my hopes was that, like, at some point, like The Rock was gonna be like in some dreamland, The Rock would be like 30, Cody was gonna be like 15, and like I don't know who would be number one, whatever, but number one would have been long gone, and it would have been Cody versus The Rock, and then that would have been the final two. And whoever would have won that would have, I don't, it really doesn't fucking matter. But that's what I like. That was my biggest surprise. I was really, I was waiting for The Rock at some point, maybe, fingers crossed, because that would just be the craziest thing.
Oh,
but yeah,
they probably hope that too.
The only really surprise in this Rumble was like Edge coming out. That was the only other surprise that was kind of like, oh, Edge is back. So that was like the only other surprise that really did happen in the Royal Rumble. Like there wasn't really other surprises. It was just mostly everybody from the roster. So you didn't get that many big surprises this year. But it's like what Steven said. A lot of people in this Rumble, you could look as legitimate winners winning it, and you wouldn't really be that mad at it. Because the only people I think that was surprised, like say, it's either Edge or Logan Paul being surprised. That was kind of it.
Logan would make me sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I would have rolled my eyes at that then. But overall, though, I thought it was a really good Rumble, though. That was good. Now, next, we get to, in my opinion, the worst thing out of the night.
You and everybody else's opinion.
Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in a Mountain Dew pitch black neon light EDM club that looks like an ecstasy match.
You gotta say Mountain Dew. Don't forget to say Mountain Dew.
Right, hashtag.
Can I say something good about the it ain't about the match. I just want to say something good before we just trash the match all the way. Okay, we're going to do that. LA Knight, my goodness. I love that man.
Bro, I said the bus, dude. I said shout this man out for carrying this feud this entire time, bro.
Yeah.
Man, especially the latter part of the feud, too. The latter part of the feud was everybody started getting restless and like, oh my God, can we please get on with Uncle Howdy? You know what I'm saying? Please tell us who this nigga is. But he carried the latter part of that where everybody started getting bored and ready to hop off. We're like, all right, cool. But once we started hearing the development of LA Knight, it ain't even a development. Whoever been watching LA Knight know who he is and knows that he got the chops to do this. So it's like it wasn't a surprise to any of us. I hope not, but that man there. For real, man, if they don't do anything with him this year, I would be very, very highly upset.
I agree because him in this match is just, and I just looked at this whole thing and this is something I would see on 2K Because all this neon lights and like glow in the dark. I'm like, man, with all this glow in the dark stuff, you thought Naomi would have been coming back or something with all the glow, but this whole match just looked like some EDM club ecstasy thing or something, and the body paint Bray Wyatt's got on. And I just said this looks silly. And this is just to promote Mountain Dew. This is all it really was, because it's the Mountain Dew, the whole pitch black Mountain Dew with the neon green and the pink. And I just sat there like, what am I watching here? And then, Wyatt's got like red eyes. It's like, what is this? And the table, wasn't like the table green or like the stuff that was
he
falling
splashed something on the table.
Yeah, like all this
What
little
they have to do
green.
about to do though?
That's the color of the
I
drink.
thought we were doing. I thought we were doing the pitch black about to do. Should this stuff be black or something? They had some green stuff represented the old about to do.
I don't know, bro.
It was
LA
all.
Knights got
It was
LA
all.
Knights
No.
here is like all neon, like all this glow in the dark stuff. It's like, what am I watching? And then he's like he's got like a Kindle stick that's neon, like it looks like a lightsaber out there.
Right.
Like
And I
Bryce,
wanted to be so excited, like when it first started and the entrances, and then we get to Bray's entrance. I'm like, oh, this is about to be some shit. And then you look at the full ring, and I'm just like, oh God, no, big
the,
ass glow in the dark Mountain Dew and shit. Oh Jesus,
the entrance was
Can
cool.
tell
That
you
was
how I
it.
was trying
the
to.
entrance was nice.
Bryce can tell you how I was trying to set up the night too. Because I had smoke breaks in between those, in what matches I was going to step out on. And I wasn't gonna try to step out on this match at first. I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I was about to give it a chance and everything. But once everything started turning Leon Green, I said, hey, Brace, I'll be right back. All right.
And the funny thing about that, when you came back, the match was already over.
Already over.
And then they got Bray Wyatt putting on like some Party City mask on then that's red, and like LA Knight still trying to hit him with a kendo stick, and then he's just no selling the thing. And then they just, he's in like a mandible claw. And then, the Mad Hatter, Uncle Howdy shows up, jumps off the thing, literally misses it. You could see him miss the damn
By a foot,
platform,
bro.
like a whole foot. And then like
Just
all this
landed.
fire comes up and all
My
the little
goodness.
puppets, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what did this accomplish? What did this prove? I'm like, and I'm looking at with Bray Wyatt. It's like, why are we letting him get away with these ideas? Have we not learned from the Fiend after all this? Because I feel like this has been dragged out. And I get long-term storytelling. You want to do a slow build and stuff, but I don't think this was it. Leading up to this wasn't good. It looked silly to me. I just thought it looked silly, and I know like people like to call Bray Wyatt like a master storyteller and all that, but like even I'm still sitting there kind of starting to question people, like folks that like he was like the new Hemingway or Shakespeare out there, something with the stories he was telling. This shit
Here's
looked
the
bad.
thing, man. This was classic Bray without classic Bray, man. Like back in the day, Bray would like the stories would be so fire until he got in the ring. But this time,
Man.
we didn't even get the fire story
Fire
with
story.
it.
Right.
So it was just
I think
it was
I
it was
think he
just
was
bad, bro. Like
This was
all the
just
way
bad.
around, just bad. And hey,
The
I
crowd
actually thought like as a dude who bedroom looks like that, I thought aesthetically it looked cool because I mean I don't like my trippy shit. But I don't yeah, this wasn't it, fam. This wasn't it.
I would think it would Bray like now we got to this point. Remember see I remember I don't you were with us with the Survivor series, right? And
Yeah, because war games, yeah.
yeah, and I was saying how we needed to just, let's see what's going on. Let's calm down. Because I think you and Verse was already restless. So as with me, I was like, oh man, I still want to give him a chance. I still want to give him a chance. Because here's the thing, I want to get to this point. I wanted to get to this point so I can really say what I wanted to say. What I want to say about Bray Wyatt is people might not like it, but here's the thing, bro. I think most of this stuff is stupid. For real. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, bro. This stuff is stupid. It just don't make sense half of the time. It's like we go back to the pandemic, to the Firefly Funhouse. It's like, most of this stuff really don't make sense. Like,
Oh my
oh,
gosh.
hey, I like the Firefly Funhouse on the simple fact that I like to have, hey, in your face, see that this all the stuff that you were doing. Okay, cool. But once we got past that, bro, it was like all downhill after that. B, I was like, okay, this is really not good. Bray
And
Wyatt. Let me just end it off with him. The best iteration of Bray Wyatt was the Eaters of World. That's the best one. And it always will be. It's like I can't believe this stuff, man. I just don't like it.
I agree because and people get mad at me for liking the cult leader one the most. I thought his promos was great as the cult leader. The problem was he lost every damn time. It was damn near
That's
the
the
same
only
promo though.
problem.
So why is you
That's the
alive,
only
sir?
problem.
Sir? Like you
That was the only problem. And that everybody looked at that as that was a problem with the character. No, that was just a problem of the booking, whoever was behind booking. That's all it was. It wasn't the problem with the character. The character, if he would have won the key matches that he should have won, you get what I'm saying? We wouldn't have to go to a masked guy who could no sales every day. We didn't have to go to a puppet show. We didn't have to go through. We have to go through none of that. If he would have wanted to get John Cena at WrestleMania, if he would have wanted to get Undertaker at WrestleMania, you get what I'm saying? Like if those matches were really killed the character, not him.
Yeah, and it's funny that you brought up Survivor Series because that is when we were like, all right, it's time to get this moving now. And it was only like that was after Extreme Rules. We were all excited about like what was going on. And then I don't know how much time passed between Extreme Rules and then when we got onto the Survivor Series review. But think
That
about
was
how
too much
long
time.
Survivor Series is from the Royal Rumble, where
Rumble,
we
yeah.
was still saying, "Yo, we're waiting for this to get rolling now." Like, all right, it's time to get this in the second gear now, and now we finally got there, I guess. And it was this. This was dog, bro. This was trash. Like, I got nothing to say, dog.
Nothing to say.
yeah, like I said, this was just really bad. This was just a promotional advertisement match, and we'll get to more promotional stuff they got to keep
I ain't
advertising,
want
like
no.
later in the show, like
They didn't do a
Applebee's.
good job with promotion because I ain't want no mouth to do. I just wanted this stuff off my screen.
And
I ain't
this
want
match
no mouth to
wasn't
do
even.
after this.
And here's the thing: this match wasn't even that long, but it's just like even after everything that happened after with the whole howdy thing and then the puppet showing up at the end, it's like this shit looks bad. It looks silly. So now, even I sit there and wonder sometime to myself, like, maybe Vince wasn't wrong all the way with Bray Wyatt sometimes. Maybe I'm sitting there starting to wonder it's now. Because like maybe this is what happens when
I
you let
think
him get away with all his ideas.
I think our default when Vince don't like something, our default feeling is automatically F you, Vince. F you. You don't know nothing about modern wrestling, Vince. Man, you need to sit down, you old man. That's our default feeling. Whatever we hear that he wasn't feeling anything that we usually would feel. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we gotta sit back and say to ourselves, like, we ain't back there in the back. We ain't back there in the writing room. You know what I'm saying? We probably not seen some of the stuff because some of the stuff got to be practiced in front of them, or at least rehearsed in front of some people, or in front of Vince, probably a little bit. And he probably got to look. He got to probably the first look at it and say to himself like, "All right, cool. We about to have this guy who about to no sell everything in the matches. So how we gonna get anybody over with you?" When it's time for you to lose, who gonna beat you? You
True.
know, so it's like hold on, we can't have this type of character. But every time we hear that Vince don't like anything, we automatically go to the opposite and be like, man, Vince, he just don't know what he's talking about. Even though he been in this game for 40 years, but he don't know what he's talking about. You know,
Eh, That's true. And I
Well,
will
hey,
say this.
look,
I'll say this
I
too.
threw him a bone with that Montez Ford creative. I ain't throwing him another one, so y'all can have that.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I'll say this too with Wyatt before we gotta move on. Like, hey, I didn't like when he got fired a couple years ago and everything. But now it's like, is this literally the best you coming back with right now? Because this is not it. This shit just looked really bad. I did not like it. This is all blacklight. This is just a damn neon glow blacklight match. That's
Look in
all
that
it really
room.
was. Yeah, and it looks cool. Like you said, aesthetically it looks cool, but I'm just watching it like this shit looks silly. This all looks so damn silly.
I want to ask a question. Do we look at a match? Do we look at a match and be like, man, I wish we had some more lights in this match, man. Even though it could be a fire match, we were like, man, this match. You know what this match missing? Some more lights.
Some
That's what this
purple
match is missing.
lights.
You're right.
And
Like, I
like
don't
this
think
this
none
isn't
of
even
us-
like Sin Cara mood lighting out there. This wasn't even that type of lighting.
Terrible.
This was
or the
bad.
cruiserweight. Wait,
But you know what?
remember the cruiserweight?
But you know what? We have to remember what this is made for. All right,
Cool.
10-year-old me would have been like, "This is crazy. I'm loving this." You know what I mean? It's not for us. You
That's
know.
true.
Yeah, I'm not 10 anymore, so or 12. So that's
But
yeah, it
that's
just
his thing. But
It, it,
the
it,
Fiend
it,
character is not for them. Usually the Fiend, I mean, Bray Wyatt character is more geared to the hardcore fans.
I mean, it was also one of the highest selling things, so that means a lot of kids was buying it
Yeah,
too.
and people were
she's
buying
mer-
that Lily doll too. I often wonder that. I'm like, because I
Oh,
remember like growing up where the Undertaker was my dude, but I'm like, if Undertaker debuted right now in 2023, would I still feel the same way? I don't know, man.
What a
So
film as a kid.
debatable.
I
But
definitely feel Gerard on that this ain't
it
for
wasn't
us,
made
bro.
for us. Right. It
It's
wasn't made
not it.
for us. It wasn't made for us.
It was not. And you
oh, did he go out? Yeah, I
know,
think.
And he,
match for was Bianca versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title. Thank God this wasn't that long, but it ended, anticlimactically also. I don't think anybody ever believed Bliss had no chance of winning against
winning.
Bianca, like in no way, shape,
Nah,
or
I did. I was scared, bro. You know I was scared.
oh yeah, you did say that after like
I
Monday.
didn't. I didn't think it. After, especially 2 weeks ago, if we remember what happened 2 weeks ago, man, my goodness, Bianca beat the mess out of that girl 2 weeks ago. I mean, only thing that would save that girl was Uncle Howdy
Uncle
coming
How
out.
exactly. That's
And,
why I was
man,
scared, bro.
because I was looking like,
The
man,
howdy guy.
and that made me automatically just threw that match out of my head, like, whoop, that match is a far going conclusion. Bianca about to win this. And that's how I looked at it. I'm like, you can't make me believe this girl can win.
I thought for sure they were about to do some hocus pocus and have her lose. I was gonna be I was ready to come on here and rant, bro.
I thought they were gonna do that, and even this match was like whatever and whatnot. Because I've already heard comments of saying, Bliss is just phoning it in at this point. I've heard that for a while now.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about it with that match last night, it was just by the numbers, by the book. Bliss,
It was heatless.
yeah, all right,
There was
Bianca
no
get
heat.
run into the post. You know what I'm saying? Bliss put all holes on her. Make sure do all the little healing tactics and stuff. And then Bianca come back in with her power moves and boom, bing, game over. And that's how it was. And I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, let's get
they
on to
didn't
the
really put over this new aggressive Alexa Bliss. Like
like
she
the Bliss.
DDT'd her on the stairs like 10 times a
Just
few weeks
2 weeks.
ago. But
Yeah,
in this
and
match,
they don't
she's just
leave.
doing basic stuff. Like
Just
That's-
basic moves.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Where is this evil, the sadistic Alexa Bliss at? And then she sits in the ring and just look like she about to cry as the as
And
the
then Howdy guy
big
shows up.
pop up, and you just look to yourself like, yeah, right here, yeah, this girl, she about to turn crazy. No, I ain't think that at all. I just
And,
thought to myself like, what are we doing?
and I want to say this too, like, because I really don't want to see Bliss back with Wyatt again. I wasn't really a fan of it before. I had already kind of shit on it when it was happening with all the black goo and throwing fire into Randy Orton's face from out of nowhere. And I sat there like, oh, and I had somebody tell me like, well, it's not Vince in charge, it's Triple H. I don't give a fuck who's in charge of this shit. It just sucks, okay? I don't like it. I don't care who's in charge. I don't really want to see Bliss back with Wyatt. And like, oh, they got Howdy there. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Like, this ain't good. I don't see where this is gonna go. And like we already just said, this match itself, who in their right mind, shape, or form really thought Bliss had any chance of beating Bianca?
Well, actually, I did not at all. But in all seriousness, nigga, like once I saw Uncle Howdy at the end of the fucking shit, nigga, I just broke the fourth wall. I just looked at my imaginary camera like, nigga, this is the bullshit that I'm talking about.
Talking about.
He
Bro, I
didn't.
be doing that same shit, bro.
It's the same shit that we left last year or whenever the fuck Bray got released. Like we left it there. Then don't bring it back. She went to therapy. Let's leave it there. Let her have her own shit. It's and that's the thing that's gonna annoy me the most about Bray's comeback. Like, he could have came back and really reinvented himself again. He could be like the horror Chris Jericho or the WWE. Like every time he come back, he's like a new fucking person for some reason with a whole new gimmick. But like no, he's going right back damn near to the Fiend. He's just like doing like a mix of the Fiend and like trying to do like a mix of the Fiend and World Eater. It's not working.
No, it's not. I'm definitely not digging it. And like now, like I said, they've transferred it into Bliss now. It's like, where is this really going? So it's like, how far they really got to keep going with this? Because I just think back to back, like both of these matches were not good at all. And even when Bianca won, like you could see the crowd did not really care. It was heatless. It's like, okay, Bianca won. Let's move on to the next thing. KOD. It's over.
Yeah,
That's
So
how I've
that's all.
been for the last few weeks. All right, let Bianca win. Let's move on to the next thing.
That's the thing. And
move
that's
on
how
to
I
the
was
next thing.
too. That's how I've been feeling too. Like this feud really did never have me going. So I always just thought like, okay, cool. We just phoning it in until Royal Rumble. Once we get past the Royal Rumble, everything go back up again with Bianca. You know, and
It,
I think, and also I think before you go on, also what I really think is, even though how much we love Bianca right now, and I think all four of us got that same love for her, but we know it's about time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? The
there's nothing
time,
wrong with that.
yeah,
she's
right.
been
And nothing wrong with
champion
that.
for almost a
Nothing
year.
wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. I just said I think we there now. You can hear it in the crowd. They still cheer for her. They still love her. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't the same anymore. And so I think the crowd even know like, all right, cool. We get it to the end of her title reign.
Yeah, success is only
Yeah.
good with. Yeah. So like, the climb back. She needs another climb back. She's already reached the mountaintop, and nothing is worse than a champion who keeps lapping shit, which is why, we all looking at hey, nigga, everybody. No.
There you go. So that's how I look at it. But yeah, I think we already know who Bianca's next feud will be soon enough, especially going into the next match, which was the 30 women Royal Rumble match. Number one was Rhea Ripley, who was still holding her ribs from earlier in the night. Number two, Liv Morgan, which let's say it right now, both of these two literally lasted till the end. So them two being damn near the Iron Women out there. Number three, Dana Brooke. I didn't know she still worked here, which I'm going to be saying that through a lot of people in this Royal Rumble, wondering like, oh, yeah, they still work here. So Dana Brooke, I didn't know she was still there. Number four, Emma. Once again, another one. I even wonder why they even hired her back now, to be honest. Emma. Five, Shayna Baszler. We haven't really seen her since what? What was it? Since Ronda? Yeah, that was like a few weeks ago. Six was Bailey coming out there. Pretty big pop. I didn't think Bailey would be in there that early, but pretty big pop. Seven, B-Fab, which this lasted like what? 1 minute with shit row out there. So she
Hey,
did
I'll
like
give her props because she didn't because we never see her wrestle, but she hit her shit in this match. Like she was looking good out there until they threw her out.
yep, she had like three moves and was gone after that. So she was gone. Number eight, NXT Women's Champion, Roxy, which was really doing good out there. So what
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Roxy is really good. So she was like Steven said, but tell me yesterday, definitely was cooking out there, and come on, she was trained under Booker T. So like it's Roxy, and they like I said, they got to promote NXT at the same time. So I'm cool with that. Number nine, Dakota Kai coming out there, which who was like right after that, number 10 was Io Shirai, so all Damage Control was in there then.
What are
They
the
ended up
odds?
yeah, what are the
What you
odds?
say? Y'all say what the odds?
What are the odds?
Bro, that's so
Right.
annoying to me in the Rumble, bro. Like your partner came out, then you just so happen out of 30 numbers got the same number almost as your partner. Like, come on, bro. Like
Right
y'all
after
could
that.
try to kayfabe this. Like,
Right, for real. Now, hold on. In kayfabe, I want to go talk to the boss. Like, hold on, boss. Wait a second. How the tag team champions come out together?
one after another,
Together.
bro. Like,
So they start throwing everybody out then because what they got rid of Dana Brooke and Emma, which one thing to say, what Steven told me, Dana Brooke and Emma were a team in NXT at one point, but they just didn't want to go back to that, so they just end up getting thrown out. Then they got rid of Roxy. They threw her out of the ring. 11 was Natalya. We haven't seen Natalya since what
they broke her
Baszler
nose.
broke her nose, and she got a pretty good pop out there. So
She
Natalya,
got a massive pop. I couldn't believe it.
What we
yeah,
talking
they're
about?
actually happy to see Natalya again.
I said, okay, the
Yeah,
Natalia pop.
I did notice that she got a massive pop. Once they heard that, I'm like, oh, dang. Everybody like, I mean, y'all miss her.
Yeah, they
Apparently,
wanted to see Natalya again. So I'm like, okay, cool, because we haven't seen her in a few months and whatnot. Most of the time, I think me and Kyle were talking about this yesterday. Like, half the time
Oh,
she
I
just
was
put on
just about to say
OnlyFans.
it too. I was just about to say it. Why you take the words out of my mouth?
Oh, you want to say it?
I was just about to say. Only time I want to see her is where she got her sister right along with.
oh my gosh.
On
Right.
OnlyFans and stuff, which even got so
No,
far
but no,
that
we were saying how creepy it was, though. To be
yeah, it's
honest
kind
with
of
you,
weird, especially with your legit blood sister, and it's like y'all trying to put this hot shit online, and it's like, wait, aren't y'all like legitimate like sisters? So
Man, that's that white people stuff, bro.
Wait.
Spade to spade, bro. That's that white people stuff.
yeah, it looks hot, but at the same time, it's like, wait, hold on now, like, ain't y'all legit? It's kind of getting a little bit too close now.
I could never. And you know why? Because I ain't white, bro.
What I was saying too, it was like it's like me with my brother. Me and him got our shirts off on side by side, showing our pecs and stuff, our abs. Like yeah, and I
Like,
got my
nah,
head on his
fam.
ass. And so.
That's not what we do.
It was definitely kind of going a little bit too far. But I don't know what they're doing on their OnlyFans, but they kind of going a little bit too far with it and whatnot right now. Especially given that they are legit blood sisters. Like, why don't you just go make y'all separate accounts and just do it with somebody else? That'd be different then.
Hey, Canadians, man, what are you gonna do?
Canada. And people say her sister looks hotter than her. I've heard that a lot also.
But yeah, but no,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead. Continue. I
mean,
thought we were gonna continue.
12. Candice LeRae, number 12. Because who else was in there after that?
Another person that you wondering like why they bring her back.
Yep.
I've been wondering that.
Candice was there, and then like right after they end up eliminating Damage Control. They got rid of Natalya and Baszler because Baszler had the chokehold. Natalya and they ended up just knocking both of them out of there. 13, Zoe Stark from NXT. Good to see
she
Zoe
was
Stark
cooking.
out there. She was
Zoe
good.
Yeah,
Stark was
she was
cooking.
cooking.
Don't
Yeah,
know
she
why people
was.
don't like Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark is really
I
good.
like. I really like Zoe. What you
She got to
say?
get out of NXT though. At this point, I don't know what more they can do with her. It's not like she can't feud with what's her name since she tore her ACL, Nikita Lyons. So they're not gonna do that anymore at this point.
See, what Bryce talking to you last night? And I think you had agreed that she needs to go ahead and go on to the main roster. Was that you who said that?
It
Yep, I
was.
said that.
Yeah, because me and him because as you were talking to him, texting him, that's what I was talking to him about. I'm like, man, I don't think she needs a lengthy run in NXT. I think she could go ahead and go. You know what I'm saying? Just go on to the main roster. You don't need no title at NXT. You already need a real run at NXT. I really think you are good enough to go go ahead and go to the main roster and kill it there.
See, I'm gonna make a point at the end of all this about this Rumble in particular, but go ahead, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
But yeah, Stark was definitely killing out there. 14, Xia Li. Once again, I didn't know she still worked here, and she brought a bow staff with her into the ring almost. I didn't know what was going to happen, but they took that away from her because I damn near started calling her Raiden for Mortal Kombat, especially with the hat. I was saying that for a while, but it wasn't blue this time.
Xia Li got to be the coolest aesthetic that has never done anything in wrestling, bro.
It looks cool, though.
They never know what to do with her, bro.
I thought so too. Like, she look cool. Like, man, if you want to make an action figure, then that would be a good action figure. And man, she look cool. Then she don't do anything.
That's
Never.
kinda it.
Not even in NXT. Like,
oh yeah, remember that group? Remember that group? What was the group called in NXT? Her and Boa and
T and Shaw.
Yeah, and the person that was sitting in the chair, I don't even remember, but I sat there like, where is this going, and why were they trying to make Boa into the Great Muta all of a sudden? So
the answer to that question, it was going nowhere.
It went nowhere.
Her entrance, bro, with what's her name sitting in the chair, and then Xia Li comes out with the hat, starts swinging her swords or whatever. I'm like, yo, this shit is cool, bro. And then she get in the ring and somebody beats her in like 2 minutes. Like,
there you go. It was just done after that. Then, 15, Becky Lynch, massive pop. Which immediately starts fighting Damage Control, and they end up throwing her over the broadcast table and she's down for a few minutes.
I would say
they were.
Can we stop at Becky right quick?
Okay.
Right there. I wanted to say this because I was saving that part right here with Becky. It seemed like they were doing two of the same type of storylines on both the men and the women Royal Rumble. Even though I didn't see that wrong with it because they both have storylines with one person that's going against multiple people, and so. But the Edge versus Judgment Day, then we turned around and did the same type of thing with Damage Control and Becky Lynch. Like I said, I ain't see nothing wrong with it because both teams are going. I mean, both people are going against teams of 3 people, and so I ain't really see nothing wrong with it. I just said, that's just something I just saw, and I'm like, oh man, they did the same thing.
yeah, the difference being Edge kicked their asses, but Becky got her ass kicked.
Man, she was. I was like, dang, they whooping.
There you go. So that definitely tells you something there. 16, Tegan Knox. I swear I forgot she still worked here. At least her knees did not give out this time because we've seen what's happened with her before. Especially with those shining wizards.
Out of line.
Right. We didn't need that.
We've seen the injuries. We've seen the knee injuries.
I know, but man, dang, Brian.
But seriously though, I forgot Tegan Knox still worked here in a way. We only seen her on SmackDown like 2 times, and then she was gone after that.
No, I understand that part. No, I understand that part. I'm talking about the knees, nigga. The knees part.
All right, I go. Oh boy. 17, Asuka, who got a big pop and a new look. I guess Kana is back now, so some would say dark Asuka, but the face paint looked cool, and this was killer Asuka again.
Bro, I love all the fake Japanese fans online, bro. All these, oh my God, Kana's back. Nigga, you did not watch Asuka as Kana, bro.
In Japan.
Stop it, bro.
This was my
was
first
not
time
watching
seeing it.
that,
You get what I'm saying? So I was like it. I liked it. And so this my first time seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I heard about it, kinda. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never watched it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, okay, then if this a new wrinkle to one of my favorite wrestlers, all right, cool. I'm down for it. You know?
Because we haven't seen Asuka in a minute.
I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I saw it with new. I'm like, okay, new face paint. I didn't even know it was a new character. I'm like, okay, look at her.
And I like the mask she came out with. The mask looked cool.
Yeah, the mask was dope. Everything was dope, and it was just good to see her ass back.
New theme too. Asuka's the opposite of Xia Li. She got all the aesthetic, but they actually treat her better than that. You know,
that's true. So this was killer Asuka again. Because I know she ended up throwing out Tegan Knox. Number 18, Piper Niven, no more dewdrop. So they gave her name back finally.
It's funny, fucking McAfee kept saying her name said her name like 85 times. Every time, every other word was fucking Piper. Never.
Got to get that over.
Yeah,
Gotta get it over.
I think that's what it was. And yeah, I think that's what it was for him to try to beat it in his own head, like Piper Niven, not Piper Niven, not Dewdrop. Don't call it Dewdrop, you know.
Right, right, because he kept doing that too. Like the
Piper
dew
Niven. Make
has
sure you say
dropped.
Piper Niven. The dew is dropped. But yeah, make sure you say Piper Niven. No, but right after that, 19 was Tamina, and then they had like a stare down with both of them, and then they start taking out everybody. Then after that, 20, Chelsea Green, who immediately got in the ring and was knocked out of the ring in literally 2 seconds.
Which is crazy because I said, when she came out, Bryce, I was in the middle of typing to you. I said, oh, well, we got a lot of pieces in here to make a thriving women's division if they want that to be the case. And like not even 30 seconds after I hit send, she gets dumped out immediately. And I'm like, okay, well, never mind. Like,
Never mind, right? You wanted to type back, like, never mind that whole message, Bryce.
I'm like,
just
nope,
ignore that. Like,
there you go. She was in there for literally 2 seconds and was gone. I figured she was gonna be back in the WWE anyways after leaving Impact, but I was like, oh, she's only in the Rumble for 2 seconds. Like, okay. And then I was like, yeah, Kyle, you should go hear that new Joe Hendry song they made about Cardona and Chelsea Green. That's actually funny. Go check that out. But
yeah, Joe Hendry cooking.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got to see that new song though when you see Impact. It's hilarious. So you'll see what I'm talking about once you see it. But yeah, she was gone. But right after that, Becky ended up getting back in the ring, taking out both of EO and Dakota. Then Bailey took out Becky, and then Liv Morgan took out Bailey, and then they brought all of them brawled to the back then. So that was the last we saw of them. 21, Zelina Vega to promote Street Fighter 6. I have no idea which character she was from Street Fighter because Street Fighter isn't out yet, but this was more promotional value into promoting something. So
Hey, yo, shout out Zelina Vega, bro, because she's actually in the game commentating. So she in her bag
oh,
right
really?
now.
Oh, she
yeah.
getting that bag.
She in her
Okay.
bag right now, bro.
She getting the Capcom bag. That's a bag right there.
Capcom bag.
All right, cool.
For real.
So she in Street Fighter 6. That's cool. Definitely cool. Now the whole thing with her and Zelina Vega on Edge of the Ropes. Then my bad. Yeah, Xia Li. Just that whatever
Terrible.
thing they did. That was. And did you see when Xia Li just jumped like when like Vega hit her and like she did this
Bro, that
big
cell.
jump?
Oh my gosh.
Like what was that? The hell? I was like, what the hell was that?
They thought that shit was hard in their head, but nah, bro. It ain't come across that way.
At
Like
all.
you're trying to
They
do the
did not come
video
across
game
that
thing.
way.
Like you're trying to like pull off the game almost, and it's like that did not look good at all. Like you're not gonna do the. And you can see Pat McAfee trying to say Hadoken several times, and it's like this was not it. Like they really thought they could do Street Fighter out there. So that was bad. 22 was Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel just I'm trying to remember who she eliminated, but she was taking out anybody out there then. 23, Mia Yim, Michin, whatever what we're going by with Mia Yim's name right now. Still cool that she still got the Jay Briscoe armband, reach for the Sky Boy. But Mia Yim was 23. I will say this about Mia Yim. I don't know where her or the OC are going to keep going without AJ Styles at this point.
I'm sure AJ back hurt.
They're gonna put them on the shelf until they get back. Until you get back.
I'm saying, bro, AJ back hurt like crazy, dude. Because
carrying all
without AJ, dead. All of them dead, bro.
All of them instead of drowning in the water without that man. He they lifesaver. He they lifesaver for real.
Because even I'm about to say, like, man, you might as well just send the Good Brothers back to Japan or something. Because
I wouldn't say that now. You know,
Right.
as long as AJ still there, they feel good. As long as he's still there.
But
Yeah,
without
they
AJ, they are
good.
going nowhere. They're going nowhere without AJ.
AJ said, "I'm tired of being the Eminem to y'all D12 niggas, bro. Like,
Damn, come on.
I'm tired of that, bro."
Damn.
He is though, right?
I mean,
For real.
at least we know the name of their band.
Right.
Good
Oh my
brother.
gosh.
At least we know who their names is.
True. That's true. 2024. Lacey Evans, which by God, I saw that on SmackDown the other night. That was so boring. The new Sergeant Slaughter, I guess. That Lacey Evans, I just literally rolled my eyes when she came out because that stuff she did on SmackDown was so boring the other night. Which I'm like, where's this gimmick going? Like, I get the Marine thing, but now it's like,
Is
I
it
don't know.
bad that I wasn't looking at Lacey and saying like, man, I wasn't looking at Lacey as the in that match with that on SmackDown. I was looking at the other girl. Me and my brother was saying, oh man, she actually decent. And me and him was talking like how she took the moves, how she sold them, how athletic Shorty was. I'm like, man, skip Lacey Evans. I don't even care about that girl. Y'all need to go ahead and look at her. Put her on level up or something, a couple of matches, man, and see what she about.
That was her
Because
job,
this
man.
shorty
Make her
got
look good. And she did it well. Like, well, she did it well to the extent that we could see what she could do. But she
uh-huh.
didn't make Lacey look good because Lacey is
No,
not
no,
good.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
I don't think. Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, bro. Because as I'm saying I'm thinking to my head like, yeah, that is true. Because the job of the jobber is to make her look good, not make yourself look good. But I think she was doing that on accident. I don't think she was trying to take the light off of Lacey. I just really think Shorty got some athletic chops to her to the point she was doing most of that stuff by accident.
I
True.
was curious how certain people were going to be handled under Triple H that Vince had such a hard on for, like Charlotte and Lacey, and now
I
Triple
think
H is
Triple
still trying with Lacey, and I'm like, dude, why, bro? Why?
Because
I don't get it, bro.
everyone I know that saw the Lacey thing said it was boring. They said they were just that bored that they were just doing something else. They did not care. That was the most boring thing they saw was just Lacey, even on
Fam, they
Smack.
did all those vignettes and everything for her to come back as the hard and new Lacey Evans, and she just came back with a new move. Like, what, like, like what we
Cobra
doing, bro?
Clutch.
right. That's all she did was come back with a new move. And then
She the
the
same
new
person,
move made
bro.
me so devastated. It was the new move was boring back in the 80s. And so
And,
it wasn't
and,
like Sergeant Slaughter was over with that move. It's like, come on now, me. Like and Sergeant Slaughter got over because of G.I. Joe and him being a G.I. Joe and having a toy line with them. That's what mostly Sergeant Slaughter got over with. And I
The
think
dreaded Cobra Clutch.
it's like WWE got a revision of history or something. Like, oh my gosh, she gonna be just like Sergeant Slaughter. All right, cool. If that's the case, yeah, she is. It's gonna be boring, just like how
and
he was.
yeah,
It,
and I'll say that. Yeah, I agree, and I'll say this too with her doing that move because like you saw her eliminate Zelina Vega with the whole Cobra Clutch thing, and
Oh my
that
gosh, she
damn near
threw her,
killed.
bro.
Like damn near killed her falling to the ground. I'm like, damn, she hit the ground hard.
Yeah, she
I'm like,
chucked
oh,
her
I
ass,
don't
bro.
think it does worse to have Brock Lesnar throw Setos out the ring. That nigga hit his
his
back of
neck
his head
almost hit
against
the
the
rope.
ankle.
Sheesh.
that was brutal. That
It
was
was a couple
brutal.
of
I
rough
was
ones.
That was some brutal eliminations there. But 25 was Michelle McCool, who was just sitting by ringside and like, hey, hold my jacket. I'm gonna go in the ring.
You
Yo,
can
I
see the
don't get
kids.
this,
Her
bro.
kids were happy and smiling and stuff. Like, oh my god, mommy about to get in the ring.
Right,
And
they
like
were
That
she
was
just
geeked,
so
man.
cool.
her kids was happy, and she just starts hitting moves, hits the faith breaker. I think on Tamina, then threw her out. So they have Michelle McCool doing a lot in there just for a few minutes, being in
Yeah,
the
but I
ring.
don't get this, bro. Like, is because she reacted like she didn't know she was going to be in the Royal Rumble. So are you telling me in kayfabe, if you're just there, that you could just get called to be in the Royal Rumble? Like, if I'm
Right,
Michael
right,
Cole on
right,
commentary, like
right. Yo,
Michael Cole's
yo,
in the Royal
music could just
Rumble. Like,
hit.
what?
You could be sitting in the audience, enjoying a beer every day. Then your music just hit. Hold on, wait a second. Time out. That's me. That's me.
Oh shit,
Oh
I'm in the
yeah.
Royal Rumble.
I'm in.
Oh,
I'm in. I just happen to be
Like
wearing
it's
my
like
gear.
it's like the
right. I
lotto.
so happen to be wearing my gear too. That girl just all she did was unzip the jacket. I'm like, that's her gear. What?
Good thing too. Like,
You're like, I'm in. I'm in. So yeah, Michelle McCool just jumps in there. 26, Indy Hartwell, which honestly they need to move her up to the main roster because I don't know what else they could do with her with NXT right now. You might as well just put her
Go
back with
ahead and put her
Gargano
up
and
there,
them.
see what she can do. So that's why I look at it and see what Indy can do up in the main roster. That's how, why not? If she got good size on it, why not, do something with her? Try it.
Put her with
Yep.
Candace. It's right there. Just
It's
do
right
it.
And
there. It's
Candace
right
was already eliminated earlier. Just put them back as a team.
there.
Away. Just bring back away. Dexter's on the main roster. Put it back with Dexter. Just do that. Like, I don't know why she's still on NXT. 27, Sonya Deville, which still in this weird feud with Charlotte right now. And I know she ended up eliminating Starks after the Eat Defeat.
I mean, that feud go end on Friday. They got the
It has to.
match on Friday. They're gonna end on Friday, so that's all that's gonna happen. And with Sonya eliminated all the NXT stars, did y'all notice her? She was
Yep.
Yeah,
just
she even said it. She said, "Go back to NXT to Zoe Stark."
Go back to NXT. Because they did.
And
I
she
remember
better
that.
be messing around. She better stop that before they mess around and set her back there. Shoot.
She might be better off for real. Like
Right.
they're not doing nothing with Sonya
You know
Deville.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I,
like we
I
see
say,
them send people back to NXT right now. They didn't send Apollo Crews and Gender back.
I say, like, man, I'm gonna go on a limb since Toxic Attraction really don't have a leader any day, you know, you can actually sit her down there and replace her,
See, that
you
would be
know.
cool too, because that's taking the group in a different direction. Because she's not going to be the one like a Mandy who's trying to make it about
Yeah,
the looks. Like she gonna make them
yeah.
killers, bro.
Uh-huh.
I mess with that. Her little
Yeah.
sequences she was having with Oscar in the match were cool too, bro. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
very
know why
smooth.
we
Very
can't do
smooth.
nothing with this woman, bro.
Right. I
Yeah.
thought so. I thought so too, because guess what? She could get heat. She could get heat. People boo the mess out of this girl. And she could get heat. She got that look of, man, I can't say it, this girl right here. Look at this little bitch. You know what I'm saying? She got that look. She got that look. that smug, I'm the shit look. You know what I'm saying? And she got it. She got that feel. So why we don't use her? You know what I'm saying? Like, why
Good
we
point.
don't push her a little bit? Every time we push her, we give her these stop pushes. Like, all right, we push her, then she lose in convincing fashion to the champions. Like on Monday, did she just lose in convincing fashion to Bianca?
Yep.
Yes.
Like, that's not if this is a number one contender now, she wasn't supposed to be in that match with a champion. That's what if that's your number one contender. And that's kind of put the number one contender in a bad light.
I don't know the last time I've seen her win, honestly, like at all.
I agree. When is the last time she actually won a match? So that's a good point right there.
Yeah.
28. That very good point. But yeah, 28 was Shotzi with her tank. She was out there next. 29 was Nikki Cross, who ran to the ring with her jacket like it was Ultimate Warrior.
Oh my
Damn
gosh.
near to the ring really fast.
Cardio was crazy, dude.
Very good cardio, just running,
I
sprinting.
mean, sprinting. I'm like, my
Bro.
goodness.
Nikki Cross was running out there
Yeah,
really fast. Give credit though, for real. And then number 30. Number 30. Which they even botched number 30. Even with the number. They botched
Hilarious.
the whole clock.
I mean, that's a story of her life. That's a
Facts,
story of her
bro.
Not
Facts
career.
on
botched.
facts.
Not Nia Jax. And you know what's so funny? Like me and Kyle was saying this when we was talking about Piper Niven. It's like, yeah, Piper Niven's big, but Piper Niven can actually move and work and not hurt anybody. It's not Nia Jax. And we were talking about that early in the night, but then Nia Jax actually shows back up, and then everybody just looks at her and then they all start jumping her, and then she just throws everybody back and says, "I'm back, bitch." And I'm like, why is she back here again? And everybody even tried to pick up Nia Jackson, barely could pick her up half the time.
Yeah, the way
Which,
she was acting in the ring made me feel like she thought she was going to get like hated for being out there. But I
Yeah.
think a lot of people were pretty indifferent too.
they were
Like,
surprised. They did give a pretty good pop, because they were shocked that she was back. I wonder
Yeah,
why they even brought her back because they say apparently she is signed back because I heard it got a T-shirt now on sale on a WWE shop.
Yeah,
But
so
I
she's
was
back.
like,
I saw that.
I sat there like, why are they hiring this woman back again? Like, why?
This y'all Booker of the Year.
Booker of the Year, folks. I'm like,
and it's
Triple H,
like
this y'all Booker of the Year.
with Nia Jax, it's like, man, it's like you saw the potential when she first came up. When she first came up to the main roster, and like I saw it, and I really thought like, all right, cool, you could really work something with this girl. You know, you could work her as a powerhouse heel. Then they try to turn her face, and then Be a Star came around,
oh
Oh,
and I
yeah,
Alexa
think that was
Bliss. Oh my
and
gosh.
that was and that
oh,
was my exit off the train right there. I said, all right, next stop, get me off because I ain't with this. I am not with this BSR. Nah.
don't I don't get yes. The 6 foot, 200 something pound big woman is supposed to be bullied by the 5'2", 120-pound woman. Like what? What?
Why
What?
does everybody have their worst feud with Alexa Bliss? And people keep telling me she's great, bro. Like,
Man,
Look, I'm just looking like some like you could look at some of the other feuds. Like I would say, like okay, with Bailey, I think the booking was bad. That's what I really think it was. You can't have nobody who don't want to fight in a street fight. Yeah, that wait a second. What type of booking is this? Like, oh, I don't want to hit her with the kendo stick. Why you don't want to hit her with a kendo stick in a street fight? Why you don't want to do that? And that kind of made
hmm
that whole little situation stupid. Like, I know she a good guy, but sometimes the good guys be like, man, okay, and since this is the rule, no rules, I get to hit you with weapons. Like, what? Like, come on now, man. Like that really was bad right there.
I
And
remember
then,
that was really bad. And y'all say this. I know she wasn't in the ring that long because everybody ended up throwing Nia Jax after out of the ring, and then she just told everybody to suck it. Then after that, but I'm like, I was kind of like, good. I'm glad they got her out of there. But I was like, that was a waste of a number 30 spot.
yeah, no Naomi, no. I said I would have preferred if it was Carmella because I mean, where is Carmella? Let's put up some missing posters for Carmella. But yeah, man, like literally anybody else.
yeah,
Like,
literally anybody else would have been better at that vital spot.
I would
Real
have liked
talk.
a surprise if that was going to be the thing, but no. But yeah, that was a waste of a spot. But as we kind of got near to the final people, I know Raquel ended up throwing out Lacey Evans. I know Raquel was trying to eliminate a lot of people in there, but basically Ripley ended up throwing over Raquel, so she was gone. Ripley ended up getting rid of Michelle McCool. I know Shotzi was eliminated by Mia Yim, Eat the Feet, which for some reason when it looked like it was like on like a delay, like when you fall out the ring, it almost like she just jumped out of the ring after getting hit by Eat the Feet. But what Piper Niven ended up throwing out Mia Yim, then she was gone. Because I just like the final people going to this at that point. But Nikki Cross ended up getting eliminated by Asuka, and then it was like the final three then, which was Asuka, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan, which number one and number two were literally still there since the beginning and got to the end of the match. But then everybody got to the apron. Asuka hit the mist, which Ripley ducked and hit Liv Morgan then. Asuka was gone then after that. And then, Ripley still trying to get Liv Morgan while she was blinded, but Liv Morgan hit like a code breaker and then just trying to find her way, get the Ripley to eliminate her, but Ripley ended up just like damn near Hurricane Rada Liv out of the ring, and Rhea Ripley won, which is now the first woman to be in the number one spot to win the Royal Rumble, which honestly I called this back in the end of the year review. I said Ripley was going to win the Rumble because in a way, did anybody really believe anybody else would have won the Rumble other than Ripley? Because my next pick would have been Asuka.
I was actually rooting for Oscar, but I'm
Yeah,
not
me
mad
too.
that Rhea won.
Well, I was rooting for Oscar too.
yeah, I was too.
Yeah. So I thought it was a decent Rumble, but I think Ripley, I wasn't surprised all the way with her winning because I guess I kind of called it, but I would have been cool with Oscar winning also. I thought it was a decent Rumble though. We got a few surprises, a couple returns and stuff. So it wasn't that bad. I think Ripley made a choose, and it's two ways this can go. One, I do believe it will be her and Bianca at WrestleMania. Or two, she could get Charlotte and finally get payback on Charlotte after losing to Charlotte so many times. And
That's
at
why I wanted
WrestleMania.
Oscar to win. Like that was my exact scenario for Oscar to win, is that she would challenge Charlotte. But either way, I mean, if we still get there, that's fine. Whatever.
Probably an elimination chamber, something like that may happen. But yeah, Ripley winning. No, I'm not mad at that at all. So I'm cool with that. But I thought it was a decent Rumble though, so it was pretty good. Next they had what?
Well, hold on.
Oh, go
Before
ahead.
before we even move on to that, I did not like this Rumble nearly as much as the men's because it has the inverse situation of the men's Rumble where
And I thought the same thing. And I
because you
thought
had
the same
mad
thing.
people who could potentially win that,
Win it
but the
with the
women,
men.
it was like
You
two
did.
names.
Right. I didn't really have a lot of names that was in that
Yeah.
Royal Rumble that I could
Who
say,
did you
oh
really
man,
believe was gonna win?
It was literally
right.
two names:
It was
Rhea
only two
Ripley and
names, but I
Oscar.
thought
Like,
Yeah, because
no,
I couldn't see
I
Liv
wanted to
Morgan
add
winning.
three. I wanted to add three. I wanted to add Raquel too. Because I could have saw Raquel winning too. So I had like three people, but other than that, like other than those three people in my head, I ain't think nobody else could have had a chance of winning that.
and that's my main problem with like look at this list of names, bro. All right, at the top you got Becky Lynch, Bailey, Rhea Ripley, Oscar, Shayna Baszler, right? Then in there you got Io, Dakota, Mia, Natalia, Candice, Zoe, Tegan, Piper Niven, Chelsea, Raquel, Sonya, Shotzi, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan. You telling me you can't book this women's division to feel like
Something else.
important?
Yeah.
like none of the majority of these, and then you got Ronda, Charlotte, Bianca, and Alexa elsewhere. It's like this is a division right here, bro. Like,
And
why
the crazy
is
part
it
about it,
the majority of these names in this Rumble? Like Bryce said, I didn't even know she still worked here. Like, why is it like 8 names you could say that about with this level of talent in this division, bro? Like, I
being the best women division in the whole known globe to me. To me, this is hands down, top to bottom. I could put anybody in a good match. I could put anybody like those names, those throw off names that we could have, like Bryce said, like, oh man, I ain't know I ain't know she was still working here. Those are actually people that you could use and could still get good bangers out of them. But you use them like they not even like you don't have the best women division around.
and you can tell
Right.
that by how people reacted to them every time they came out. It's like, oh, here's Candice LeRae, and the crowd's like, you know,
Yeah,
like it should not be like that, bro.
It should not be like that, right? It should be like that.
that's true. So yeah, I do agree that the guys Rumble was better than this one because it's like, so you got all these names, but it's like you didn't really believe some of them were really gonna win, and it's like like what I said, like I didn't know some of them were still there because we don't ever see them on TV, so you forget they're there until you now finally see them in the Rumble. Like, oh, you still there? I'm like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, so there you go. So that's why I wasn't really that surprised of Ripley winning in a way because I kind of saw it coming and whatnot, and they really built Ripley a lot, especially with the whole Judgment Day thing. So that has helped also. But right after that, I know they had a Hardy performance, and it was like what 10:30 at night, which I was like, get to the main event already, please.
Oh, lucky you,
Given how,
Chicagoans. 10:30, huh? It was 11:30 over here, bro.
Right.
because we finally get to the main event with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for the undisputed title. Just Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman coming down at the whole bloodline with Roman. And it's like this. The match was what it was, but I don't really think anybody believed Kevin Owens was ever going to win the undisputed title. Now, if it was like for one of the titles, maybe, but I don't think anybody saw Kevin Owens winning. This whole match is literally about Sami, okay? Like,
Sami
Roman and
Zayn.
Kevin Owens was
Yes,
there,
it
but this
was.
is all about the story with Sami
Just
Zayn.
waiting to
Yeah.
see what was going to happen,
Yep.
basically.
That's
Yeah, you
all
could
they
say
kept on doing with the
that's all they
camera.
did. Because, yeah, you could
Oh,
say, and the camera was on Sami a lot. Because they tried to say, "Oh, Reigns hit a rock bottom, perhaps." Like try to tease the Rock, but this is all about Sami.
That wasn't a rock bottom. That was a damn Uranagi. The rock
And
bottom, he laid down. He comes down with you. He threw the man down. Boom. That wasn't even a bookend. That was, you know what I'm saying? That was a straight up Uranagi.
yep, and
Come on now, talk about it.
that's true. That was a Uranagi, not a rock bottom. And I know Kevin Owens tried to do that big double moonsault jumping off the ropes, but he ended up slipping and nearly had to redo it again almost, but just did like a regular moonsault. Because I know that one he just like jumps off the ropes and like kind of springboards it, but I'm like, that did not look good. And he like just slipped.
He is so nimble for a guy his size. My goodness, you should be amazed by how nimble he is. Like, my goodness, bro.
I've said it before. Big guy that moves like a cruiserweight.
My goodness, he does.
And like I said, most of this match was Roman beating up Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens damn near crawling to Sami, and Sami just looking like, oh well, what do I do and everything, and you just see Heyman there just like, worship the tribal chief. Come on, Shmuley, you gotta worship him. Just worship Roman, and Roman's just damn near killing Kevin Owens, and he just starts throwing the back of his head into the steel steps and stuff, because even you see Sami trying to stop Roman, like, hey, that's enough, and Roman's looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, whose side are you on and stuff? And
I love what he was saying to him. He don't love you, Sammy. He don't love you. Man, we do. This is your family, Sammy.
And we gonna get to that part, because basically, like, Roman just beat the hell out of Kevin Owens, throw his head into the back of the steel steps, like at the edge of it, which looked really brutal.
I don't even know how you take that safely. Like, how it looks like exactly what it is.
I have to kind of like cringe a little.
Like, how do you get your hands up or what? Like, I don't know what it is, but
and that's what I was thinking to myself. And to the point that throughout that whole beatdown later on, in that beatdown, I really thought the man was concussed. I'm like, man, is this nigga concussed? Is he cool? Anybody? And then until I heard Jay say it, he didn't mean to ask on camera, but he did. If anybody heard it, when Jay was, right by him, he asked the man, "Is he okay?" I heard that on camera. I'm like, if he told Jay he was okay, and then that's what made me kind of ease down a little bit. Like, all right, cool. He probably told Jay he was okay, because I did hear him ask that question. He didn't mean to ask that question. You know what I'm saying? Well, the camera was right there, but the camera was right there, so it picked up on the mic.
Yeah, they gotta ask, because that was brutal.
That's crazy. Because Reigns just ended up spearing him. He won the match, and then right after, all the bloodline come out, and then Jey Uso's about to put the lay onto Sami's neck, but Reigns like, no, not yet. And then they just look at Kevin Owens, and then the Usos start super kicking him in, and then they hit the 1D on him, and then they put a chair around his neck, and Solo there hits like the big hip attack then onto like to the chair into the corner, and then they got handcuffs, and they just handcuff him to the ropes, and Sami's just standing there like doesn't know what to do, and then the Usos just start super kick, just several super kicks then, and then Reigns got a chair, and then Sami's like, that's enough. He's had enough. Okay, he's had enough. And like it's like with Kyle, he says, this man has betrayed you every time, which is true, because like every time Kevin Owens is always turned on Sami. That's why I said back at War Games, it's like, why I gotta keep messing with you? You always betray me. At least these guys accepted me and whatnot. But now someone kind of looking at like, who really turned heel? So I say Sami turned heel, because it's like you went back to the guy that always betrayed you. But the people that did accept you, you betrayed them. So I see people like, maybe Sami's the heel in all of this. But
ain't no way you looked at this beatdown and said Sami turned heel.
Yeah, I see people say that. It was Sami who turned heel.
Hey, no way, bro.
I can't. Did you not see what Roman Reigns did to bro at the stairs? Like,
I'm sorry, Sami's the heel. And, like, they just kind of like, who's the heel here? But like they just kept beating up Kevin Owens, and he's gonna give him the chair, and like Sami's like, that's enough. But Reigns like, no, you do it. You hit him with the chair, okay? Like, we accepted you, we made you to our family and everything. Like there's no going back now. Like you got to do it and everything. and then Sammy's just holding the chair. You just see Reigns looking at him, and then like, he started kind of slapping Sammy a few times now. Like, this man's betrayed you your whole life. Do it. Like, you know, you're going to make this choice or you're going to pay right now. And then Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins style, just like the Shield, hits
Exactly,
Reigns in the
bro.
back of and Kyle said this, like Seth Rollins hits him in the back with the chair. Reigns falls down, and then everybody just looks at Sammy like, this supposed to be your brother, man. Why you do this for? Why you do this for? And then Jimmy Uso just immediately takes out Sami Zayn first, which is kind of crazy because like
Bro, I
Sammy
love it was
always
Jimmy
I
first,
loved it.
yeah,
bro.
Sammy was
Come
all
on,
like
I
dude.
loved
Jimmy
it.
was always buddy with him, and you know,
But
cool doing the handshake, but he was the first
but
one to take him out. And
because
then
you knew all that, because every time you looked at it, you knew that he was the fake one. You get what I'm saying? And Jay would be the real one at first. You get what I'm saying? Jay really despised this nigga. So he was like, man, I ain't about to do all that stuff with I ain't about to 40 kick it with him. Y'all want me to 40 kick it with this man. Why y'all over here laughing and doing handshakes and knowing damn well y'all don't like this man?
and we seen Jimmy Uso even kind of question Roman, like, we really about to let him in? Like, you serious about this? Like, we seen that for like several weeks. Like, you really cool with this? Like, all right, we cool with this. We going with this then. Like, you really gonna accept him into the bloodline? So like, we seen Jimmy already kind of questioning and stuff. And then, you know, Solo hits him with the Samoan spike. And then, you know, they start looking at Jay, and Jay just looks like all conflicted, and Reigns said, this man is not your brother. Okay. And then Jay just left the ring and he walked out because, like we just said, Jay was always the one that despised Sammy. But it's, you know, when they did the whole court thing, Jay said, like, he saw the good in me when nobody else did. And what I hated this man, but I learned to accept him because he saw good in me. And Jay just walked the battle, which is now beginning this dissension of the bloodline now with Jay walking out. And then Reigns just takes a chair, beats the living hell out of Sami Zayn. Fuck you, Roman chants happen. And he just
Ooh.
starts, and then just starts dropping the little pedals off the lay. And like Sammy hit one more, Jimmy hit one more super kick to Owens. And they walked out, leaving just the hit was accomplished. So the bloodline just left them dead in the ring as they left, and the show ended from there. So mostly
So,
storytelling in the main event. All of it was all storytelling.
so I have a
Anything
couple.
worth seeing.
So I do
Well,
Like
you
have a
said
couple
the
things.
match was what it was. Okay, it was what it was. But this was all about Sammy. This whole thing was about Sammy, just Sammy. This whole story between that, and he finally betrayed the bloodline. So I'm sure the Elimination Chamber, which will be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, is
Hmm.
going to be Sammy versus Reigns one way or another at Elimination Chamber.
Now I got a couple things. So first thing, I love how the crowd literally was chanting for the bloodline and shit. Of course, they were chanting for Sammy, but they were chanting the bloodline. And by the end of it, everyone was screaming "Fuck you, Roman." I think that was crazy. Like that just tells you how good this story is, man. Literally, I went into it like, damn, like low key. I went into it like we talking shit, but I went into it like low key. If Sammy turns on Roman, he might come off as a heel. I think, like in my mind when this shit started, I was like, yeah, like if they play it by the book, if Roman plays this shit by the book and Sammy switches on him, he can come out looking like a heel at the end of this shit. But the way Roman Reigns was obliterating fucking KO in them ending moments, it was like, like it made me uncomfortable. You know, I was like, damn, like this nigga. Like it's
Hmm.
wrestling, but fuck. You know what I mean? Like, and so by the end of it, like I totally understand it. So I really love that dynamic of how they told the story, not only in the ring but out the ring. And secondly, who in that WrestleMania that started this whole bloodline shit, I forget, did Roman face Jimmy or
Jay,
Jay?
Jay.
Jay,
Jay. And Jimmy was injured, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
Hmm.
Jimmy was injured.
That man, I don't know. I like that Jay was the first one because Jay was the first one that walked out. So I
Hmm.
like that dynamic.
yeah,
Because
because
we're going back full circle. We're going back 360.
Yeah.
Who was the first one? He had to basically Stockholm syndrome. Basically, that's all the Jay ended
Beat
up
into
getting.
submission.
You know, he beat him to submission. Who was the first one? Jay.
You
Jay
know what I
wasn't
think?
with that.
You know what I think?
Basically got beaten into submission, into joining with his cousin. and you could tell that it was some type of resentment with that. Like, man, when Roman would get in his face, he had settled down for a minute, then he had looked down like, all right, I acknowledge you, tribal chief. It's like it was something there already for Jay that he really wasn't feeling it.
Man, this is
Yeah,
man
and
great
and then
storytelling.
and you remember like Jimmy did try to get involved, which they kind of got Jimmy in there easily because Roman was telling him like, "This is your brother, and you're not gonna help him." And Jimmy's like, "Oh well, maybe you are right. I will join you then." Because before, like Jimmy was not happy with Roman beating up his brother and everything.
Nobody's bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I remember that shirt. They did have that, like I'm nobody's bitch. And if you remember the matches they had with Jay, because Jimmy wasn't medically clear, but you remember Jimmy coming out there saying like, "This your cousin, man. Don't do this, man. This is your blood." And, man, and I remember Gerard saying this. It sounded like a BET script out there at one point, saying like, "Don't do this, man. This your cousin, man. Don't do it, man. We want to be family, man." And then he just gets choked out by Roman, like, don't, and it just gets choked out then and stuff. But then he just ends up joining him kind of easily because Roman is like, "You're supposed to be protecting your brother. I'm just trying to put on for everybody, and like this is how you treat him." And then Jimmy's like, "Maybe you are right. I'll just join anyway." Like I thought it
Exactly.
was gonna
He
be
he
a
didn't
match.
even need all of that to be submissive to him, and that just like Kyle said, bro, the fact that he's the one that struck first, and Jay, the one that had to go through all that, is the one that was like, "Nah, I ain't with this." This is like, man. But let me ask y'all something though, because I've seen a lot of discourse about who should have won the Royal Rumble, right? And I've got really no problem with it being Cody. But
Mm-hmm.
after an angle like this, how do you not have Sami Zayn
Have
be the
me
one
at
to beat Roman
WrestleMania.
Reigns?
Man.
Like,
Yeah, tell me about it. I wish you on that one
how do
all
you
the
go
way.
from this to them going for like the tag titles or something? Like, how? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
you
yeah.
have
about to be
world
so
You
title.
about to you about to basically KO Chris Jericho there at WrestleMania. You know what I'm
facts,
saying?
facts.
Man, because remember, KO and Chris Jericho have one of the best things on Raw that year. And then all of a sudden, we get to WrestleMania. It's for the United States Championship. And it's like,
Exactly.
hold on, how we get from that to there? How we gonna get from here to Elimination Chamber? How we gonna build up something with Cody going against Roman so we can make that feel like a WrestleMania match? That just not off of star power, not off of just name. We need it to feel like a real WrestleMania match. How we gonna do that? How we gonna get there? And it's like,
it
Unless they
man,
have,
depends on how the elimination chamber match goes.
yeah,
that's
true
true.
that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But they could do, I mean, they got two nights. You feel me? Like
separate
Roman
titles, one on
defends
the line.
each title on each night. You
Oh
feel me? Like
man, now that would be good. And lose both.
Yeah,
That
well,
the end
yeah,
of the bloodline.
the end of the
Oh
tribal
shit!
chief.
yeah,
Nah,
destroy the
this
bloodline.
cinema right here, bro.
Yeah,
Now that would be great. Actually, if
We
Cody's like, "Yeah,
man,
I just want one," and damn, that would be great. And there's no more unified, so now we can have more storylines for more titles.
uh-huh.
Oh man, yeah, I think you just said it, man.
The final chapter. Cody versus Roman, Sammy versus Roman, the end of
Roman
the tribal
Reigns. One,
chief.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
one's
we
got
need
to be
Cody
for the
versus Roman
WWE
first.
title.
Cody
The other
versus
one's
Roman
got
got
to
to
be
be.
for the Universal.
Yeah, Cody versus Roman
But
got to be
I've
first.
been hearing, but what I've been hearing though, I don't know if y'all heard the same thing, but like I've been hearing like some little words for the backstage that they don't really look at Sammy that way, that's why a lot of people was like looking like you know for Sammy to win they want to hit Sammy to win the Royal Rumble, but but it's like I've been hearing stuff backstage that like not even Triple H, even look at Sammy as like this world champion. You know what I'm saying? I think that's gonna be a very much of a hinder to Sami Zayn.
well, that's gonna be a shame because that
That
like
that
this,
is a shame. That is a
Yeah,
they
shame
gave them an
definitely a
because
shame.
open
he worked
goal.
hard.
They laid
He
it up
worked
to him and
hard.
everything, bro. Like all you got to do is slam it down, bro.
Like
Literally.
he
Right.
is on
And then,
fire
It's
right
funny.
now. This man was the NXT champion at one point. Let's remember that.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, that's a
it-
whole different like thing,
that
though,
was a
bro.
whole
Like,
different game, bro. Yeah, that's a whole
Yeah, with
different.
Sammy, but
That
like
was
right now, but
whoa.
like Like
That
Sami
was
is super over right now. Super
Yeah.
over.
plus. I
And
think
it's a lot of
100.
people that it's a lot of people that really look at it as world champions that became world champions that we kind of got a different look at them. Mick Foley was one of them. You
Bam.
know,
I
it's
was just
like
about to say
yeah, that should
him.
be honest. Like nobody really looked at Mick as that. You know, at first. You know, you probably had respect for him because he was putting his body through hell, but
I,
they're like as a world champion, like until he got that world championship, then that's what everybody's like, oh yeah, I can see that.
I even
Daniel
throw you
Bryan, another
another
one.
Daniel
man.
Bryan,
Daniel
yeah.
Bryan is
I
another
throw
one.
you another one. Young Randy Orton when he won his first one.
Yeah, nobody saw that. Nobody,
Yep.
and then nobody really looked at him like that. And they felt like, oh, nah, that's too soon. Why we get rid of him the title like right now? Until we got to that world championship, we were like, all right, cool. We can see it a little bit now. We need
Yeah.
another run.
Because yeah, the
And
first one run wasn't that well.
nah,
Now the
it
one thing
wasn't
I
that
will
good.
say. Now the one thing I will say is having two face champions as the WWE Universal Champion. Respectfully, I don't think that'll be a good thing. I think one face, one heel would be better.
Well, I don't think like in this like because they're two different kind of face champions, right? You got the Cody win, which is like the guy, the crowning of the guy being
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes. The Sammy win is just for him to beat Roman, so he doesn't even have to have the belt forever.
That's what
He can lose it
um,
the next month to some other,
Very,
whoever
very
y'all got
true.
in the pipeline. But it's just the fact that he beat Roman, and that's his story coming to an end.
Yeah, that's real. That's very real.
it's like a movie, like a little movie storyline. Anyway, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
you is that man that the hero finally conquered the villain at the biggest stage of them all.
Yes, because
Everybody
Exactly.
cheering for the hero.
we've been running this Roman thing for over 2 years now.
Man, that's
And
Which has been the best thing. This is literally the best thing out of WWE right now in general.
I say it's
the
the best
crazy
thing
part
in
about it,
wrestling.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
haven't,
yeah. Damn near the best thing in wrestling.
this whole month I went back to a couple of Royal Rumbles this whole month, and I went back to 2017 and look at that Roman and look at this Roman. It's like totally night and day. I, I was like, I could, but I'm looking at the match between him and KO for the Universal title that year, and I was just thinking to myself like, this is totally different.
man.
Man, totally different feel to it. It's like we not feeling like he being pushed down our throats. Like man, it's like it's so totally different from 6 years. We like how that happened? How did that happen? You know?
That's definitely true. Yeah, it's a different Roman. Like I said, just going heel, and it has worked. So like I could see those matches probably happening at WrestleMania if they do Sammy and Roman. Because listen, we've been hearing about the rumors with The Rock for a long time now, for over a year now at this point. Shit, people can go to that Young Rock episode. Acknowledge me. The whole thing of giving it away and stuff. But then again, I don't even know they're gonna get The Rock because The Rock's schedule is very busy right now.
We've surpassed the Rock now, bro. Like
Yeah,
this.
I think
Yeah,
we are.
happen.
And I think that's what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Wanted the fans to get past that. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it, y'all. All right, I got something for y'all at Royal Rumble. They're gonna make y'all stop talking about this. You know, and that's what it was. They kind of made us shut up and stop really mentioning the Rock for a minute.
Yep. And like right now, as we said, this is already going to be now the start of the dissension of the bloodline, especially with Jay just walking out and that being a part of that whole thing out there. So it's already happening. It's at the start. So by Elimination Chamber, something big is going to happen. I'm not saying they're going to lose the tag titles at well, maybe they do lose Elimination Chamber, but I still see it at WrestleMania though. But the dissension is already happening.
Oh yeah.
hmm
So that's how I look at it. But overall thought on this entire pay per view.
I'm gonna
Uh,
go ahead. Oh, go ahead, bro.
I was
Who
gonna
wanna-
say it was better than last year's, which to me was all I was looking for. I give it
Facts.
a
Facts.
7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I think I didn't have any match that was horrible besides the lights out match that I just could not stand. Other than that one, I'm cool. So I give it a 7.
You mean the hashtag Mountain Dew blackout match?
Yeah, the hashtag Mountain Dew Black match. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I did overall. I thought it was a really good show. I enjoyed it a lot. Probably gonna go with maybe I want to say maybe 7.5, almost 8 out of 10 for the Royal Rumble and whatnot. I'll say that right now. Given one, I think the best things out of the night. Well, obviously storytelling wise with the main event, I thought the guys Rumble was really good, even though it was mostly predictable with Cody winning the whole thing. We all saw Cody winning, so like there was no surprise after that, but still an overall great Rumble. The women's one was decent, but we already knew who was going to win. I think the worst things out of the whole show was obviously the Mountain Dew pitch black neon light whatever match, and I had no care for Bianca and Alexa. Those probably like the two worst things on the show. But overall, I thought it was a very good pay per view. Like I said, beats last year and whatnot. I know some
It
will
beat,
say,
it
"Oh,
beat, la- it beat
yeah,
last year by a country mile.
of course." Yeah, I know some will say, "Oh, we didn't get enough surprises," or "We didn't get enough this." But I'm like, nah, I think it was good. Yeah, we could have saw more surprises. I just saw, like I said earlier, people on the internet was like, we could have got, Jay White, which I didn't really think was gonna happen. And I know even someone said like, out of good faith, and even though I would pop for this, it would happen, but I knew it wasn't gonna happen. Somebody said, what if they had got Mark Briscoe to be in the Rumble? As cool as that would be, I never saw that happening.
Yeah.
Yo, the Great Muda. I heard a bunch of names. Like,
Yeah, Muda, because he's on his retirement tour right now and stuff. So it was like a lot of people they thought was gonna show up, but I didn't kind of see that coming. But overall, I thought it was a really good pay per view.
yeah, we in the same ballpark. I'm with y'all. I'll give it a strong C plus, and that's really carried by how it ended and how it started. Because
Mm.
second match, third match, not for me. And even the women's rumble filled with
Really was it right.
like
I would
women
do on
that
that one.
they've booked into the ground that aren't over. Is just like, it doesn't make for a very exciting watch. And when it got to like 11:30 after that match, and they're like, "Well, here's Hardy to perform a song," I'm like, "What are we doing, bro?" Like
What are we doing?
We're just built like wasting time because this show ended like what 11:30 something over here.
12:30 over here, bro. So yeah, we in the same ballpark. I'm strong C plus because I'll say, man, like once the angle, like once Roman pinned Kevin Owens, that woke me up because then that's when everything kicked in. But everything before that, since the men's rumble, I was just like, you know.
Yeah.
Eh,
So C plus.
yeah, I would agree. Yeah, what'd you give it, Kyle?
I give it the same thing, a C. A C. Well, I would really give it just a C because I just right down the middle. And, like, I enjoyed the mid rumble. I despise the pitch black match. I was just indifferent when it came down with the Alexa Bliss and Bianca. And like it was very heatless, and I really didn't care too much about it. They didn't do bad. You don't want to say it wasn't a bad match. It was just by the numbers, just by the books, and get it out the way. The women Royal Rumble was kind of lackluster to me. It's like I just like Steven said, it wasn't nobody you really thought like outside of Rhea, Oscar, and in my case, Raquel. I like everybody else was just like, like bro said, like man, that don't make it a compelling. Royal Rumble. It just don't make it a compelling Royal Rumble. And then I want to go out into a limb before I finish off this. Though, to be honest with you, I haven't. I since 2018. That's when the first Women Royal Rumble. It wasn't. It haven't been a Royal Rumble that was so memorable that I'm like, man, yeah, I remember that Royal Rumble right there. Like I, most of they Royal Rumbles haven't been. It's been a hit or miss to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
2021, I think, is the one Bianca won. That was cool.
That,
That,
I
I
think
did like that one.
But that's about it. Like,
that's about it, right? And then
Yeah, after that, it's like,
the last match was very good, very for the angle, everything, how emotional it was. Man, it just took you on a whole emotional roller coaster. It's like, my goodness, that was great, and that's what made it to a C because you had two A's and two F's and one C. So I should go round that out to a C.
hey, yo, Kyle, you hilarious, bro.
that was that. I could see that. That's a good way to sum it up.
Oh, snap.
Because like I wasn't too much down on the women Royal Rumble. It was just average, very average. It was like, oh, okay. But overall, I think we all enjoyed it, and I think they really, they really put up a good enough job for us to get ready for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah. So they, like I said, they already building into it, and they've already set up a lot leading into Mania. So, like I said, it was good. Like I said, it was a good show. It, like I said, it beats, like you said, Kyle said, a country mile by last year and whatnot. So I did enjoy this show. It was long, but I enjoyed it.
Can I ask
Over.
one more thing before we dip out?
Oh, what you want to say?
So, I mean, speaking of WrestleMania, I mean, what y'all see being the card for Mania? Because I mean, we got what Logan Paul threw out Seth. Is that a match? Like,
It's not
Judgment
a
Day
match, but
Edge.
and that's so crazy too. Like, time out. Yeah, my bad, Steve. Can I go back today? Can I, like, who clamoring for this match between Seth and Logan?
Not
I
me.
mean,
Not
when I
really.
saw
I'm not
that
looking
Theory
for it.
shut it down, when I saw this Theory shut it down, I looked at Bray. I'm like, a WrestleMania match? It's like,
Dude, were
Question
they
mark?
rumoring like Cena and Logan at one point? I had heard that a minute ago.
I think they saving Cena for Austin
Austin
Theory.
Theory. Yeah.
I don't even want to
Because
see that.
Austin been hitting his catchphrases. You
Right.
know,
The
the
champ
champ
still.
is here. And he. I think they would, use that for him. You know, and
They
so
they
that
really
that
they're really trying with Theory right now. They're trying.
well, it's somewhat working. Because if you compare it to the last time they tried with him and being the Money in the Bank, he looked totally different for that nigga there.
True.
Mm.
He don't even look like that guy no more. They told that man to grow his facial hair in, look more like at least more tougher than what you was before. And so and the matches that he getting, he wasn't getting no matches when he was the Money in the Bank holder. He wasn't getting no 30-minute bangers in a main event with Seth Rollins. Like, nah, he getting 30 minutes. The last 30 minutes in Raw was dedicated to him and Seth Rollins for the United States Championship.
That is
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I think what they wanted to do is they what they want to do is kind of erase that memory. That Money in the Bank memory. Just kind of erase it, kind of
They
sweep it
trying.
under the rug. you know, and just hopefully this iteration of Austin Theory get over more than that one did.
Yeah, they hit you with that Men in Black Joan. You know.
Yeah,
Mine,
you
mine.
don't
So
remember that, do you? Nah. What was it? Who was the Money
Money
in
in
the
the
Bank
Bank. Who was that?
winner? But yeah,
Oh,
I did yeah, my bad for stopping you, Steven. But yeah, bro, I wasn't clamoring for that, and I'm not clamoring for that. I even go to book. I'm gonna even plan this ahead of time. That's probably gonna be one of my smoke breaks.
Probably. I mean, yeah,
I don't,
because I mean,
I
why else
don't
do
like
that? You
Logan.
know, why
I,
else have him make such a thing that he eliminated Seth Rollins? Seth sitting on the ramp looking up at him like, unless that's the match.
match. They're gonna be at WrestleMania. And it's like, all right, cool. I think what they doing is what they doing with him with Seth. Yeah, they know Seth could pull off a banger with just about anybody. So can you pull off a banger with him?
Well, get ready for more Logan Paul praise then. Wow, he had a great match with Seth Rollins. That must mean he is great. Like,
What, like, no, that's not.
He must be great.
It's certain people that you could put in the ring and they're gonna have a match with anybody, and no matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you can't really look at that with Seth. We're like, man, nah, do you think Seth was the one who was carrying this? Like, you got to look at it like that. I don't think they were looking at it like that with last year WrestleMania because they didn't look at Miz carrying, carrying Logan Paul or the Miz even helping out Logan Paul because we don't see the Miz as that type of wrestler. You
who did
know,
they wrestle last year? It was a tag match, right?
Rey
yeah,
Mysterio,
Rey
Rey and
Mysterio
Dominic.
and Dominic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, where he first did the frog splash better than Dominic. I got you.
It's like yeah, I don't want to see that match to be honest. Logan can be in some type of other match. I don't think Seth Rollins should be used for put it. Having a good match with Logan Paul. I just don't. I think it's beneath Seth.
It is definitely beneath Seth, although I mean, it's the quote unquote celebrity match, so I guess that means
Yeah,
it's going to get higher, attention than if Seth was just wrestling anybody else, I guess. So I mean, it's silver lining.
Attention.
So what? Brock, Bobby. That's
yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Ray versus Dominic.
yeah. Becky,
Yeah.
Bailey, maybe.
Becky or Bailey. Yeah.
Edge versus Judgment Day in some form or fashion.
In some form of fashion, right? Somebody, right? Some form of fashion is gonna be some Judgment Day versus Edge.
Yep.
And then Gunther could just wrestle anybody because he's Gunther, so
Right.
whatever.
Yep. Final title. Ripley versus whichever women's champion she picks.
She choose. Hopefully, Charlotte.
Cody versus Roman, and possibly Sami versus Roman. And like I said, this is a 2-night thing, so there's going to be more matches to name, given this is a 2-night event.
I mean, that's a cool little card though. Like that's.
But no, that's good.
That's straight,
Y'all say Brock versus Lashley.
That's a solid card.
Yeah,
we
Brock
mentioned
Lashley.
Brock Lashley.
Yeah, we said that.
I mean, Kyle said hopefully Rhea picks Charlotte, but I think she'll pick Bianca, which means Charlotte. She's got somebody over there. I don't know. I mean, on either side.
I remember when we were talking about they were both at the end of the year review and the Survivor Series review. Remember what I kept on saying? I just didn't want to see the heel champion win at WrestleMania. And that's I'm trying to find any scenario that the that the heel champion don't have to win. So that's why I'm saying that's why I'm going with Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason why. Because no matter what you want to, no matter how they want to book Charlotte and Rhea the heel or the Charlotte the face, I'm not going to look at it like that. In my eyes, the Charlotte going to be always going to be the heel.
Yeah, because she beat Ripley all those other times. This is Ripley's big payback.
Right, and that's why I wouldn't look at it. But when she go against Bianca, it's going to be a bar burner. Don't get me wrong. I think those two women go kill it. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just would be with WrestleMania, storybook ending, something like that. Yeah, that's why I look at it.
Yeah, I need Bianca Rhea in my veins, bro. Like inject that shit. You mean?
Yeah.
So who is it then? If Oscar for Bianca? If it's not Rhea,
who wins that Elimination Chamber? Maybe Oscar.
I mean, they got time to build somebody, but right now the only one who feels that level is Oscar.
True.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, maybe Oscar.
Piper Niven versus Bianca. I doubt it.
That. So yeah, I would see maybe Oscar winning. So yeah, we'll probably see about Elimination Chamber. But yes. Other than that though, anything to plug before we go?
No, I'm good.
Straight, bro.
But yeah, comment, subscribe, follow all of us on Twitter. I guess the next review probably will be Mania, I'm assuming, or whatever big pay-per-view that comes next from whichever company or whatever and stuff. So yeah, other than that, I'm out of here. See you guys later. Hope y'all enjoyed the Rumble review. more stuff going on. So we are out here. We see y'all then, and peace out.